Good morning, lovelies. Monty Seelana here, your favorite fairy scholar. Welcome to the 10th sweet and spicy interview, where we alternate between sweeter, lighthearted questions and between deeper, more personal, spicy questions. Joining me today are three amazing VTubers, linked in the description. Would you all like to introduce yourselves and what you do?
I just realized who goes first.
Do you guys want to go from like left to right?
I like it. I like it. Maya.
Okay.
Alright.
Yomi. Hello.
Hello everyone, I'm Maya, a heartbeat VTuber. I've only been streaming for a few months now, but honestly I've come to love this community very much and I'm excited to meet you all in chat.
Nice.
Everyone, I'm Reina Hardcore, and I'm most known for my League streams, but I also do variety. Yeah. I'm known for that, but I also do variety streaming, and yeah, that's about it.
Nice.
Okay. So first off, you have to move me away from the League streamer. Just joking.
I'm sorry.
I'm only kidding. But yeah, so my name's Atan, or Atan, however you want to pronounce it, doesn't matter. And I've been streaming on and off for around 4 or 5 months now, and I mostly play like platformers, FPS, stuff like that. So yeah, I play sort of just everything. I've even coded on stream, so
Ooh.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I at the beginning I didn't think like I could fit in coding and writing into streams, but like people show up to them. It surprises me every time.
Yeah, I definitely did not expect that. I guess they want to see me get mad.
I always like to think it's some weird version of ASMR, like coding ASMR. Awesome. And without further ado, let's get right into the interview with our very first sweet question, one that kind of brings us back to our beginnings. What inspired you to start VTubing, and what inspired your VTuber character / persona?
Do we go from left to right for all the questions?
You don't have to. If you want to. I usually go for anyone that wants to volunteer, but if not, yeah, we can go left to right.
Up to you guys. I'm a bit shy, I will admit.
If not, I'd like to throw a time in the bus, because you were talking about that just now.
I was just about to say, literally right before the stream. So, probably, I really got not back, but I got into VTubing after seeing Cues in That Eye, like a really long time ago, obviously. And I don't even really watch her anymore. I actually have no idea what she's doing, but I remember being like, oh, this tech is really cool. So I started experimenting with it back then, like as an idea, but it wasn't really until like Hololive and Niji Sanji that I was like, okay, well, this is a really interesting like business opportunity. So like I mentioned before the stream, Atan was originally a character from a video game I'm working on. So I was like, okay, well, I can do like what Netflix has done, which I now hate that I even considered it because of that. But things like that, and basically she could be like a spokesperson for the game. But then I ended up just liking it too much because I actually used to stream just myself like years and years ago, and it was really fun. So I sort of went in with the idea of going in with like that in mind, but decided just to do it for fun after that. Yeah, sorry, that was so long-winded, but yeah.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, and I love long-winded responses and like the tangents that come off of them. Like I'm for it. Go wild.
Oh, is it my turn or?
I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure we were still going from. okay, so who inspired me to VTube was actually Kiara.
Ooh.
I was first exposed to VTubing with Kizuna Ai, but I didn't know what Kizuna Ai was. I thought she was like an AI.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
I didn't.
Yeah, I at the
Yeah,
same
I didn't
time.
think she was a real person. And then I was like, okay, that's cool. And so I wasn't really into VTubing at the time. And then fast forward a few years, I saw Hololive. And my favorite was actually, Mai. I still love her, but, it was when they first started that I started watching and, watching their personalities grow and stuff like that. Kiara was the one who mainly really inspired me because she was kind of a little bit behind compared to the others, but she like worked so hard to keep going and things like that, and that was just so inspiring. And I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go into this, and even if I don't do well, like my intention was never like to go into this to get popular or famous. I just want to have fun, which is mainly what I do with my streams. But it was just like, okay, no matter what, like I want to work hard just like she does. And so that's like the main inspiration for me was Kiara.
Yeah, and I know like early on she had a lot of technical difficulties. Like I know a lot of people were put off by her debut because her microphone quality was bad, and she admitted like up until like the third or fourth month streaming, she only had one monitor to work off of, so it was just a lot of alt tabbing, and she managed to make it work with hard work and perseverance.
It's actually very similar for me. I had only one monitor to work off. When I debuted, I had this. I know, for real. Now I have two. I'm looking at them both, but I had a really bad microphone. It was a Razer headset, and that's what I started streaming with. Cheap Razer headset.
That's what I'm using right now.
That's like I feel so bad for you because sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Like it's very on and off. Sometimes you get good audio quality from them, and sometimes you don't. And it's like, is it gonna work for me today? So I'm so tired of that. So now I have a proper microphone. But yeah, oh my gosh, my streams at the beginning were so scuffed. Like they were bad.
They weren't that bad. I was there for your debut. You were fine.
Oh, you were there. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
But yeah, speaking of microphones like going in and out, I was freaking out before the stream because I haven't streamed in like 10 days, and all my microphone settings they haven't changed, and yet OBS was goofy and the curse.
Yeah. No, don't bring that here.
And then actually, so I know you have quite an interesting answer to the second half of this. What inspired your VTuber character persona? I know that with Funima Mom, that's quite different than what most VTubers end up going.
What do you quite mean by that? I'm sorry, I'm still really kind of tired. So.
The way I understand it, Funima made these models that you kind of inherited.
Yes,
versus...
but I did the character, how I act, my backstory, that's all me.
Yeah.
And one of the main inspirations was Abigail Williams from Fate Grand Order and Burncastle from Umineko. I love Umineko, so she was like to be an old like time witch that fucks with people. That's what I want to be. So that's what I am. Immortal witch.
Who watched it? So I'm so fucking happy that you mentioned that.
Oh, thank you. I'm really happy I can make you happy. Yeah.
Right after the diss with the Razer mic.
Okay. I totally didn't mean to diss you. That was unintentional.
It's really okay.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. And what about you, Maya?
It's weird, right? Because I had never heard of VTubing until this year, and the only reason I started is because my girlfriend Zeri, she started streaming, and she told me about VTubing, and I knew nothing about it, but like a week or two after she'd started streaming, I was like, yeah, I can do this. This looks fun. So I got like a pick route, right? And I essentially made this very basic avatar, so I became a PNG tuber. And then the more I started streaming, the more I sort of looked into it, and honestly, I only heard about Hololive like a month into streaming. It's so weird. I feel like everything is like backwards in my progress, but honestly, it's been really cool so far, so I can't complain. And honestly, I've struggled to get a job and just even think about getting a job because I have a lot of anxiety and stuff. But honestly, streaming has been the way I sort of, I don't know, experiment with just talking to people in general, and so it's been a lot of help from anxiety. And it's why I feel like I've wanted to continue doing this so much, because I feel like I'm becoming so much more confident with myself. And
Yes. Yeah.
I sort of hope that, well, to anyone watching, it can be a bit of an inspiration, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's been going successfully so far, so I'm like, well, I have no reason to stop. I might as well continue. But yeah, that's sort of my simple journey into VTubing.
And a really good one. I relate to that a ton because I'd always kind of wanted to be a streamer, but like you, I kind of came to the realization of like VTubing is a safe way to kind of step into the streaming space, and I get to push through all my social anxieties and flex those barely used social skills. Like I've been streaming for like a little under 6 months now, and like I've made more friends, I've met more people in these 6 months than I have in a very, very long time. Like it's wild. And like Maya said, like to anyone listening that was maybe considering like, hey, maybe I should pick it up as a fun way or a way to meet people, like you definitely do. It is really cool. And the people you meet, the scene is really cool.
It's crazy to me how supportive this community is. Like the moment someone new joins, like everyone's like so welcoming, and I've just never felt like I wasn't like welcome in this way. That feels really good, to be honest.
Yeah, I've said this a few times, but it's because this is the internet, right? Like it's so rare to find just nice people on the internet, but it's almost as if everyone here they're not just passively happy for you, but they're actively like, hey, I want to help you, like here's meet this dude, or like take these tools to make your stream a little bit better. Like everyone goes out of their way to help each other, and that is, you do not find that on the internet.
Exactly.
Oh, for real.
Yeah, like even the way that everyone creates like guides and free assets for people and stuff too. It's
Yeah.
pretty insane.
Yeah.
And if you ask for like things like what equipment do you use or what programs do you use, everyone's like quick to help, because I mean, I've definitely seen other communities that are not so open to sharing. And it kind of makes me sad.
Yeah.
I will admit, as time goes on, though, I feel like this will probably eventually change. Because most communities, when they start out, there's like the intentions are really good. So even if it does change, though, it just seems like it had a much better start than a lot of the other communities have been. Because most communities start out pretty good, but then they turn pretty sour eventually. Like, right? Like as drama in the community like grows and all that. But yeah. Also, a side note about the mic. I'm actually using the same mic that I used when I used to stream. So it's like 8 years old.
Ooh.
So hopefully it sounds fine. I don't know.
Oh, you sound good.
Okay.
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am seeing in chat VT Sci-Fi. Yeah, sure enough, some of you guys are inspiration to pushing people into VTubing. Like that is insane. Anyway, Moni as well. Hello. So I did want to mention Maya to you saying that you kind of like got into it backwards. I've inadvertently gotten two of my real life friends into VTubing, and they had the same kind of path you did. Like they had heard the stories of, if you look at like even a single VTuber clip, like that's all YouTube sends you, so they would avoid it. And I ended up being the same kind of person. But when they realized, like, wait, Monty's doing it, you can stream with way less anxiety. You don't need to like dress up for a webcam. You can just play and have fun. Like they went into it, and then they were like, oh, Hollow is pretty cool. What is Niji Sanji? VTuber is pretty cool, and yeah, they went into it backwards, and it's wild to think. Yeah, but like it's more and more common, I think, that like people are joining VTubing not because of like the big people, but because the medium itself is interesting, and I think that I don't know, something about this is really nice.
It is. I just love, like, okay, one reason I really wanted to get into it, the more I started to figure out about it, is because I used to roleplay a lot, and I don't know, the idea of people having lore and like different personas and all this kind of stuff, it's super cool to me. Like, I love like seeing everyone's designs, like just your guys' designs alone, like it's so fucking cool to me. And I don't know,
Thank you.
I feel like it's why I wanted to get into VTubing so much. Just like, yo, I can basically be what I want to be, and like nobody's gonna judge me for it, you know?
Yeah.
That's actually, that brings up another thing. For me, like obviously I streamed before, so like streaming wasn't that big of an issue for me. But the thing that really drove me into VTubing, and I would say is probably actually like the creative side of it, because a lot of people are like, obviously like your model and stuff, like you usually work with an artist and all that, but like all the technical stuff is actually extremely fascinating to me. So like actually like picking up live 2D and figuring out how to rig models and things like that was like, to me, honestly about half the fun. So that was another huge reason I forgot to mention. I don't know if it was like that for y'all, but I definitely really like, even making the stream assets like for scheduling and stuff is really fun.
It seems it, to be honest, because like even, I mean, it's not completely the same, but like as I mentioned before, I made my first like model, quote unquote, in Picrew, which is something a lot of VTubers used to use, at least. I don't know if it's that popular anymore. But I don't know, like creating all the designs and everything was super cool to me. And like even recently I just got an art piece from Skev, and as you mentioned, like making the schedule pages and everything is super fun. I don't know, so I agree. I love the creative process of it all.
Yeah, I can't quite sympathize because I have no art skills to speak of. I'm considering doing like tons of art commissions or asset commissions, and that much is super exciting. But yeah, something about like seeing your own OC like kind of come to life. Like one of my friends has been working with a rigger, and like to see what they've I guess what they've always envisioned themselves as, and to see that like just kind of come to life, like that was wild for them. And I think that's really powerful.
For me personally, it was very similar to Maya's, because Funa Mama has been a very big inspiration for me for a very long time. I've loved her games for so long. Like oh my gosh, like 6-7 years ago was when I first played Wada no Hara. And I've always loved the stories she's told and the characters that she's created. And so it's like to be able to have a model done by her and then create my own story from that. It was just like something that I was so ecstatic to be able to do and work with her. And she's a huge inspiration for me. And she's just such an amazing person to work with. So I'm just really happy that I got to work with an artist that I just look up to so much. So personally for me, that was like, I always wanted to get into VTubing, but when I saw that Funa Mama started making VTuber models, I was like, this is it. Like, this is my calling. Like, I'm gonna VTube with her. So yeah.
Damn. And I'm so glad that you were able to get that dream. Like, that's to look up to someone and then like to be one of their artwork. Like, dude, I could not imagine.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's I'm so grateful for it. Like every time I stream, every time I work with her for, you know, model stuff and things like that, I'm just so insanely grateful for it.
Honestly, I feel like that's the charm of VTubing in general and streaming. I feel like a lot of it feels like a dream come true, you know?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So I was gonna loop back to something Monty said earlier about like becoming like sort of like a character that you really like. Well, I think that's a super powerful thing. So I'm actually really glad that I didn't like. I know that a lot of VTubers will like sort of base off themselves. And I was kind of glad I didn't do that because it allowed me to separate like the VTuber persona from like my normal persona, like my IRL one. And I actually I was curious what y'all's thoughts on this were, but basically like I'm a little bit worried that actually some people might sort of like get a little bit too attached to it. In other words, it's really hard to like. It's kind of hard to say this. This is like a little bit negative, but like I sort of worry about like a split personality thing almost sort of happening because I've sort of seen like a few people where it's like such like you make such the ideal version of yourself that it's kind of hard to not like to detach yourself from it, so it becomes like a problem. So I was just curious what y'all thought, or if y'all have experienced like any issues with that.
Ooh.
It's weird, right? Because I try to be as transparent as I can in stream. Like people sort of know me for just being completely honest with my audience. So I don't really have much of a disconnect with my personality as a VTuber and my personality IRL. But that's also mostly because I don't do anything IRL whatsoever. So like this is just
Same.
me, you know? Like so I don't worry about that too much. But I could definitely see where for some people it could become an issue.
For me personally, it's you know what, that's such a hard question that I never even like thought of. But for me, I a lot. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say. A lot of it is like my actual personality. Like this is actually how I am. And to me, it's like there's character consistency and there's lore consistency. So I'm consistent with my lore, while my character personality is kind of like a mixture between my own and like the character I have. But see, the thing is like when I'm not off camera, I'm basically the same. It's just more like there's no lore, there's no, you know. So it's for me personally, it's kind of like I've always been like this. I've always been a little kind of just a tiny unhinged. If you see my streams, just a little bit. I mean, I've always kind of been like that. So, and you know, at first, actually, it was kind of the opposite for me because I was very scared, and so I did have kind of like that second personality. But now I'm just totally like, you know, organic. Like this is usually how I am. So it's usually how I'm on streams. And you know, personally, I have more fun being myself than I do like 100% playing a character. That's just me personally though. Because I'm mainly for VTubing for fun. So if I get to kind of, you know, have fun with that, then that's how I like. But I do stay lore consistent as much as I can. So that's how it is for me personally.
Yeah, and for me, I'm quite similar. I don't think I'm just kind of me.
Yeah.
I had some lore, and I was supposed to do this like really intricate debut where like I wanted my lore dump to be in the form of like a fairy tale, and like someone was reading it to someone, and I was like, wait, that's way too much work and I'm getting stressed out, so I'm just gonna start streaming right now.
Yeah. And for me, it kind of like ties into it anyway, because like my character is someone who came from a place that there's no technology, so she's just kind of slowly getting corrupted by the internet, so it kind of works out.
Recent streams track.
Yeah.
There's that meme that was going around like earlier on this year that everyone's like VTuber and then VTuber lore.
Yeah.
And it's always like I woke up one day and then found the internet.
Yeah.
I love it though. It's great.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. So that's oh boy. Moving on to our first spicy question of the interview.
Oh,
I know.
boy.
Oh boy.
So this one, I like to think spicy is not quite lewd. Some of them are more like getting to the root of you. Like this one. What is your most ambitious dream?
Oh, God.
Like no bar, like ignoring reality, ignoring what could happen. What do you hope could happen?
Oh,
Me
boy.
personally, oh sorry, Tan, do you want to go?
Oh no, you can go.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, for me personally, what I want, I personally really don't want to be like super famous, because I like talking to my chat, and I like that I can talk to them versus like there's a lot of messages being sent and I can't hold a conversation. But so if I could have it right now, my absolute goal would be to support myself with this. And so that's it's like I don't want to have like 1 million subscribers. I just want to be able to support myself and have enough people to talk to. So that's personally for me.
Yeah.
So, is this just for VTubing, or is this like in general?
In general.
Okay, sorry.
No worries.
Okay.
All good.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of people, like a lot of VTubers, I feel like complain about like when bigger VTubers get so big that they can't really interact with the chat anymore, and I think that's what drew a lot of people to indie VTubers. So I think a lot of people that started out as indie VTubers are sort of don't want that to go away even when they get bigger, but it's just a natural consequence of things, unfortunately. Yeah. Sorry, Maya, did you want to go next?
I'm honestly the same, to be honest, though, because like that's, as I mentioned with the job before, like I just want to be able to make enough to live off of this. Like if I've reached that point, I feel like I've succeeded, and I feel like I'd be happy, you know. But I also totally understand not wanting to get too big to the point where I'm not able to interact with chat, because I feel like that's something I take pride on. Like I respond to almost every single message, even if the chat's like overflowing, and I feel like I never really want to lose that, because I don't know, even nowadays in the Discord, right, when I have to make like certain rules or stuff, I feel like I almost create this disconnect with the audience, and I really get scared that the more I grow, the more that disconnect is going to become like, I don't know, a major influence on the stream in a way. And so yeah, I really just understand wanting to become big enough to support myself, and as long as I have a good community, and I think I'd be happy, to be honest.
Nice.
I feel like, so obviously not VTuber wise, like building out my own company is probably the biggest. Like I just hired my first employee.
Ooh, nice.
And so it's an official company and everything, but until you get like an office and there's like more to it, it's still sort of like literally run out of my apartment. So yeah, like until that's sort of like my far off dream, is eventually getting all that to work. But in terms of VTubing, I feel like I'll know that I really made it once someone like cosplays as me or something.
Ooh.
I feel like that's like the benchmark that I'm going for. So probably, dude, oh my god, that'd be so wild. Yeah.
Would it count
like,
if you cosplayed as yourself, or does it like is it that like you're big enough that someone else that like you don't necessarily know is like, I want to cosplay as Eitan?
So I do cosplay. I do. I haven't done anything recently because COVID has sort of put a damper on a lot of plans, but I do cosplay, and eventually I plan to cosplay Eitan, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like the same, right? You have to have someone else, because the thing is, like people don't really realize, but even super simple cosplays can be extremely time consuming, especially like my jacket
Yes.
is
Oh, yeah,
very
yeah.
weird. I have like a super weird jacket that has like specific patches and stuff. So if they actually were to recreate that, that's a huge time sink. And they like went out of their way to do that. It's so weird to me. Like that, like I can't even fathom how wild that would be. Yeah. Like again, oh god, I'm getting off topic again, but
Oh no worries. I love this stuff.
it's really weird. So I have actually been recognized in real life for like the game development stuff I do. And every single time that happens, it's always like really awkward. Because on one hand, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so humbled. Like, this is amazing that you play my games, that you know about this. And then on the other hand, I'm like, oh god, this is so awkward. Like, they probably think I'm like so weird or whatever. And it's really funny because I've had people like later come back and then like after meeting me in person and they like give me like custom fan art and stuff. I'm just like oh my god, this is like, it's just so wild. It's sort of surreal. Like, so I just like, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of rambling at this point, but basically like I feel like I've already like met my goal, but also like not at the same time, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like basically I'm saying that just like people interacting with you and like putting time into making you something or making like your community something, it's just always so weird to me. Like people actually compete to see how many hours they've spent in my game, which is a little bit concerning, to be honest, because I'm like, don't get addicted to it, please. But yeah, so that opens up a whole nother can of worms. But it's just so funny seeing that, because I'm just like, people like care about your stuff so much. And so like also honestly one of the most like gigantic compliments someone can give you is like when people are like, oh, I did this because like I saw you doing this or whatever. Like that is, oh my god, that immediately is just like the rest of my week is made. So yeah.
Damn.
You know what that? Yeah, because I felt that with when people tell me, they're like, oh, Reina, I want to VTube because I saw you doing that. That's like me looking, you know, that would be like, that's like me looking up to Kiara, and that like someone like looking up to me like that. It's just, it's so like, I can't even believe it. Like when people tell me that, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like thank you so much. I'm so happy that you like love my content enough to the point where you want to try it yourself and you're inspired. Like that's all I would ever want. Like that's just amazing for someone to watch me and be like, I want to do what you do. Like that's just mind blowing to me. So I'm so grateful for that, and also the community is very active with fan art. So I love each and every single one of it. I always retweet it, and the memes too. They're funny with those ones.
I'm jealous of you guys. I haven't got much fan art yet.
Okay, I'll draw you fan art.
Yes.
Wait. I was about to say, okay, I know what I'm doing after the stream.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
absolutely. We're gonna blow up your timeline.
Actually, I know I have a few members of the cult here. You guys hear that? You guys hear it? You hear that? Let's get some fan art going.
I still there. So I actually have a wall, where I have a piece of corkboard, and every single time someone has fan art of my game that I find on Twitter, I actually print it out and put it up on the wall.
Oh, that's awesome.
But there's one piece of fan art that is still to this day my favorite, and it was like, oh god, I don't remember their exact age, but a very young kid apparently was playing the game with their mom, and they ended up like drawing in crayons like on just a random sheet of paper, and the mom posted a picture of it, and my heart like, oh my god, it was just so amazing. So I actually I printed that one out, and it's like in a special corner of the wall.
Aw, that's adorable.
Yeah, it's just like, god, again, it brings it back to like it's so weird that you could think like you create like a special moment between two people. So like I think it was a son and the mom, so like they actually experienced like a really fun time together just because of something I made, which is again like I can't even. It's so humbling. It's so weird. And so similarly, like I know a lot of VTubers, like for instance, like me, when I sit down, because I watch way too many VTubers, I'm like I feel like I'm like a Jehovah's Witness, but for like VTubers, where I'll like go around and be like, have you heard of Ina? Have you heard of like have you heard of our Lord and Savior? No, but sorry, I don't mean to belittle religion. That's not my intention. But my point is, like, I feel like I've shared a lot of really fun experiences with people because of like different VTubers I watch, and so like again, being able to like potentially do that as my audience grows is so wild. Yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely beautiful.
Definitely.
Okay, awesome. Oh, sorry, did I cut you off?
No, that was it. No, that was it. Sorry.
Awesome. That is, yes. So let us continue on with our next sweet question. What is your favorite game genre, and how did you come to love it?
That's hard to pick.
Mm-hmm.
See, ever since I've started streaming, I've really gotten into card games. I used to have a thing for tarot cards, which are not card games, of course, but I sort of like bring that passion into video games, and every time I find a new card game, I tend to try to stream it as much as I can. So while it might not be my favorite, because that's a bit hard to choose, I think it would definitely have to be card games for me. Like stuff like Hearthstone or Legends of Runeterra, which are not played that much anymore, which is sort of why I almost want to play it more, because I noticed like a lot of VTubers seem to stick to the same genres in video games, especially. And I feel
it's all Apex. Apex and Valorant everywhere.
Yeah.
See, I can't even talk, right? Because I stream a lot of Apex.
No, I know, literally. Because in my variety streams, I'll do like games that aren't played too much. Like I did Persona 3 the other day, but I can't talk because I'm literally a League streamer. So.
God. League Persona 3. Okay, you know what? You just redeemed yourself.
I'm so happy. That's my favorite Persona game. Like.
Oh God, don't even get me started.
No, literally, no. I feel like Mio and me would talk for like an hour about it. There's so much we could get into. I love that game.
I literally have a picture of Mitsuru like a foot.
Oh my gosh, you have such good taste. You have such good taste.
I'm adding it to the list of games to play.
Yeah. Play
Yeah,
Persona 2 too. Like play Persona, both the 2s and 3. Play those.
Ooh.
I wouldn't play 1 though.
Yeah, no, exactly. One's boring, if I'm being honest. I love the characters, but it's so boring.
Have you played all the Shin Megami Tensei games?
Of course I have, yeah.
So have you played like Devil Survivor and like Persona Q and all the spin-off? Oh my God.
And I played Digital Devil and stuff like that.
Oh, holy hell. Okay.
My favorite. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of all those Atlas games. Definitely. Yeah, my favorite is Strange Journey from Megami Tensei.
Oh my God, they remade it.
They did?
Yeah, they when was that? God, I don't remember. But yeah, they remade it a while back.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to play the remake because I played the original.
I am so excited for the new Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh my God, me too. I'm so like, I'm probably gonna stream it because I'm just so hyped up for it.
Well, so they literally like they released that trailer and then they just went dead silent for 4 years.
I was like, what is happening, you guys? Like, guys, hello, like, can you let us know what's happening?
Yeah, it was literally Persona 5 again. I was like, this is the same.
It's the same game. I'm so tired of Persona 5. Like, can you guys please look at something else? like do something else, please. Like.
Well, it was like the same thing with Persona 4, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I'm guilty here
about Atlas.
Oh, I love that, but I'm guilty here because 5 is the only one I've played, and
Okay, we'll play 3.
Yes.
We'll play 3. No excuses.
I've only played 5 on an emulator on my old PC. Then got a new PC. The emulator didn't work anymore, so I'm just permanently halfway through 5 until I actually get my hands on a PS5.
Oh, well, okay. Just a little bit more about Persona, but 5 is such a conflicting experience for me because in a lot of ways,
Same.
it was like objectively better, right? Like in terms of gameplay, the game is just objectively better. In terms of the UI, all that objectively better. But for some reason, it might just be nostalgia, but I didn't like the characters as much.
Oh no, same.
I've
and
heard
it's like
the same.
it's like Ryuji is Ekichi and Junpei.
Yeah.
Like literally, no one can come before Ekichi. Like he's been done so many times with like, I love Junpei. Okay, I absolutely adore Junpei, but Ekichi was the blueprint for Junpei, Yosuke, and Ryuji. So he's the one that owes the two. But I was like, okay, it's just Ekichi again. And the only one I really liked was Futaba. But even then, it's just the characters, the character developments are like they could have been so much better, like compared to P3 and P4. So I like Goro because I'm biased because he shares the same VA as Kane, but that's why I like Goro. But everyone else, it's like they could have done so much. You look at the older series and what they did with the character developments and how they grew as characters, and you just look at Persona 5 and you're like, okay, like you guys could have done so much more. Case in point, on Takamaki, she was this person who was getting over sexual harassment and like borderline assault and stuff like that. Like she was going through that, like sexual trauma, and then they just like they were like, okay, she got over it after the Kamoshida arc, and now we're gonna make her the all the sexual jokes, and we're just gonna sexualize her to hell and back. And I was like, what? Why? Like, she could have been so much. It could have been so much more. It could have been her, you know, continuing to grow from the Kamoshida trauma and, you know, getting past that. And I wish they would have done more with her and Shiho, but they didn't. And it's like, okay, because no, because going back, I'm sorry if I'm talking too much about this.
No, I love it.
But here's the thing: it's like you look at side characters, because they could have done so much more with Shiho, but they didn't. And you look at Chidori from Persona 3 and how much of a story she had with Junpei and how big she impacted his character and stuff like that. And she was such a small character, like side character, but she had so much impact to his character arc. Well, there was nothing going for On like that, and like her story, she was just okay side character now. So that's my gripe with 5.
Yeah. It was still a really good game though, so I'm glad that it's just sort of like it's the same thing as like Nier Automata.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like, yay, Nier now, and I was like, this is great because now they actually have funding to make more games.
Yeah.
Because like seriously, like Yoko Taro, Toro, sorry, or oh god. Anyway, basically like he's basically like not gonna make games after that. Because, like, basically, Square Enix is like, okay, this one better be a banger, or, like, we're just not gonna fund any more of your games. So, like, I'm really glad that, like, recently, I feel like a lot of games like that were, like, there was one huge game in the series, and then everyone was like, oh, you should play the rest of the series, and people, like, actually, like, the fact that they're re-releasing, like, the older Nier game was, pretty wild.
I was so happy to see that, because that has some of my all-time favorite characters. Like I love
So all that being said, I just realized that I didn't make a really good case for myself. I've only talked about JRPGs, but I actually don't like JRPGs that much. So ironically enough, it's like just the ones I just talked about. Like I really like Atlas, but I actually kind of hated Final Fantasy, which is very controversial. But in terms of my favorite genre, it would have to like objectively be rhythm games.
Oh yeah, I love rhythm games so much. Yeah,
I literally am, so don't tell anyone because it's technically like not fully legal.
Guess.
But I say that, but it's like, come on, they're not going to actually do anything. But
Yeah.
I actually own several arcade machines that I imported from Japan.
Oh my gosh,
Ooh.
I
That's so I
want
can
I
play
want a
them.
DDR A20 cabinet so bad. You don't
my
understand. Like
God.
I would give anything for an A20 cabinet. I want it so bad. Like
So my friend actually has a DDR Solo.
Mm.
So
oh my gosh.
yeah, and then I actually don't have I don't have any DDR, but like UB and Crossbeats, and I'm gonna get Vuelix and like all these other cabs. I at this point it's like not even just a hobby; it's like a full blown addiction. It's really bad. And like yeah, it's just I don't know. Rhythm games are pretty amazing. Like I don't know what it is, but just the things that are like tied to the music, it's just amazing. Like all the VR ones especially are like just absolutely so much fun. I can't even imagine how many hours I've put into all the rhythm games I've played. So yeah, that's objectively like my favorite genre. But I also obviously just like have a huge love for Atlas for some reason, even though like some of their games are like pretty awful, but the good ones, like when they make a good game, like it's a good game.
A good game,
Really good
yeah.
game. Yeah. So also like I mean the more traditional ones like Uncharted is pretty fun. Like I played some really basic ones. Like Naughty Dog really makes good games. People were pretty mad
Yes,
about
absolutely.
the second Last of Us, but like I mean come on. I don't know what like they can't make every single game amazing. I still thought it was pretty fun, but
Yeah, same.
yeah. So I play way too many games. I moved recently and I didn't realize how many games I had until I moved because they're heavy. Turns out once you get enough games together, it actually starts becoming heavy.
It's heavy, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
I literally just have a notepad open, writing down like all the game names you guys
Yeah,
are
oh,
saying,
yeah.
so that I can go and play them.
Okay, then play the original Fire Emblem games.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh god.
I hate Awakening and I hate Fates because I grew up playing the original Fire Emblem games, and they just oh god, I'm not even gonna. All I'm saying is they wrecked the series. Like I understand. Okay, this is like my basically my overall TLDR.
Mm-hmm.
The Fates and Awakening, Fire Emblem Fates and Awakening are good games by themselves, but they aren't good as a Fire Emblem game, in my opinion.
Ooh.
Three Houses, it's all right. It reminded me of Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, so I was like cool with it. I was like, okay, could have been a little bit better, but you know what? It was pretty good, and I hope they keep taking the new age Fire Emblem in that direction as a veteran fan. So
that's actually oh god, I just realized. So if you want a spicy answer
Ooh.
for I just remembered. So the thing that there's one game in particular that also it's really funny that we've said some very controversial opinions. Like the Fire Emblem one is very
Oh yeah.
like people I literally know some people that would like stab you for that opinion.
yeah, no, believe me, I've gotten like death threats over it before, so I was like, guys, it's a game. Like okay? Like okay, do it. Like go ahead. Over a game.
No.
Enjoy your murder charge, you know what I mean? Like
The internet be wildin'.
yeah, for real.
Oh yeah, no, people, oh my god. But yeah, so obviously like I already alluded to it several times, but like game development is very important to me, but it's really funny, like the game that actually triggered me to, so like I've always wanted to make games, like even when I was a really young kid, but I didn't know how, obviously. One of the first things I made was like a terminal like asteroids clone, but like everyone starts out doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
The one so I played one game though, and that's the game that like really got the ball rolling towards like actually making my own stuff. And oh god, I might have to burp for a second, sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Okay, no, we're good. It's a false one. I'm drinking tea, apparently I'm drinking it too fast, but so long story short, Do any of y'all know the game Katawa Shoujo?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay, so
Envious best girl. I will
obviously
die on this
not-
hill.
it's obviously not the most like how do I put it lightly? I wouldn't actually recommend anyone play it. Let me put it that way.
No,
It
definitely,
is
definitely.
a bit
Yeah.
aged at this point.
Yeah, not only that, but also just like just yeah, some of the sexual stuff is really weird. But
Yeah.
regardless, we're gonna step past that, and we're gonna focus on the fact that it was made by some random ass people that just got together and decided to make a game.
Mm-hmm.
And that blew my mind back when that happened, because around that time was like, I feel like it was like a turning point. Like a lot of stuff like Discord didn't exist. So back when that stuff happened, it was so weird to see like a group of basically complete strangers get together and like actually make a functional game that like people could download and play. And to see so many people enjoy it was so wild to me. Like it honestly blew my mind. So even though it's like not the most savory game, and I definitely wouldn't recommend playing it nowadays, it was definitely like VNs in general were probably one of the big things that sort of like actually got me into making my own games. Yeah, because it was like the first time I really saw like indie games being made that were like, obviously like there's like Philfish like with Fez and the Super Meat Boy series and all that, like people were making games, but that was the first time where I was like, these are random people. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no worries. I was just gonna say like Swayze said, like it possibly the only like good thing to come out of 4chan. Like that is absolutely wild. My own we're like really deep in the woods now, but I don't give a shit. What kind of like led me on to, so I'm when I'm not Monty, I'm a programmer, currently a NEET programmer. I lack a job and I'm trying to find a job. With any luck, the job interview that I was going for will go well. But what kind of led me on the path of being a programmer was I also wanted to make games, and the thing that like kind of pushed me towards that was Roblox, because
oh my gosh.
I love Roblox. I love Roblox.
I do not recognize what it is now, but what it was like 10 years ago, like it was such a good way to be creative, and like the programming language was garbage because god
Roblox.
It's what got me into programming when I still wanted to be a computer engineer.
But
it got me into art. I would play like Warrior Cat roleplay games. That got me into drawing.
Whoa.
I would draw my little Roblox little cat, and I'd be like, oh my god, this is so good. And so I kept drawing.
That's amazing. Oh, the A10 just kind of disappeared there. That was weird.
Sorry. Yeah.
Just shrunk.
It happens sometimes.
I just realized I didn't actually answer the question. So I want to say my favorite game genre is anywhere between 3, which is maybe cheating. I've always been in love with shooters. I've always been bad at shooters. But I think my very first shooter was like Combat Arms, which was a free-to-play, like pay-to-win shooter by Nexion. One of those like gross ones where like you're really bad, but if you save up enough money, you can get like a super cool gun for like 3 days.
Oh god.
Yeah, it was disgusting. But I between shooters and 2D platformers, I grew up on all the classic Mario games. So like that was just my jam, and now that's blossomed into a love of like Celeste and like Super Mario Odyssey and
I love Celeste.
oh god, it's so good. I want to learn how to speedrun it, but then I see some of the stuff that people do, and it's like that's not humanly possible. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
No, definitely.
Wait, you're telling me you can't beat Celeste with just your feet?
I'm not a true gamer. It's true.
Yeah.
Sorry, Reina.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I was just gonna say, for me personally, I like horror. That's why horror and rhythm games. I love rhythm games, but horror, I love horror. I love getting sweaty. I love the adrenaline rush. I love because it's like when you watch a horror movie. Okay, you're kind of like a little bit immersed. Okay, yeah, okay. This guy's getting like cut open with a chainsaw. Okay, whatever. You know, you're watching it, but when you're in the game, you're controlling the character, so it gets me all like I got an adrenaline rush. I'm getting sweaty, like I'm in the game. Like horror is the only genre that can fully immerse me into a game, like 100% completely. So, and I've always been a big fan of horror and stuff. My VTuber aesthetic, like the goth, the Lolita, that's how like I really am. So even then it's not too far, you know, apple didn't fall too far from the tree. So I've always been a horror fan. Like ever since I was younger, I've always been a horror fan. So I'm just happy that I can, you know, incorporate that into VTubing and like my persona and stuff like that. It's been a genre that's like been with me for so long because I used to play these games. I remember playing Resident Evil 2 on the N64.
Ooh.
And I would scare myself. I was like young, I was tiny, and I'd scare myself by playing it, and but then I'd keep playing it and I don't know why, and then I'd have to go to bed and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have nightmares, it's time to sleep.
Oh no.
And then I'd get up and do it again, you know what I mean? So it's always been like that.
Have you played any VR ones?
I could not.
I played FNAF VR once, and I got too scared. I couldn't keep playing it because there's this one FNAF character called Ennard that scares the shit out of me, and it was like one based around that character. So that was the only time I could not finish a horror game. Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't push myself to do it. I just had to stop completely because I got too scared. But I really want to try more VR games because that's like immersion to the next level, like with horror. So
yeah.
Do you have any you recommend?
So no, I was about to say I'm actually really bad with horror, like really bad.
Yeah.
And literally, so I was so bad, but I was so or rather I'm so bad with horror that I was playing Half-Life Alyx, and the first headcrab that showed up, I literally like yeeted all of my headset and controllers off me and stopped playing it for like 3 weeks before I could pick it up again. Like I'm really bad with it, so I can't even imagine the people who play horror games in VR.
I
would die.
I want to redo it. I want to get back to horror on VR. Let's see if I can. I kind of want to revisit it and see if I can do it again, but
you are too powerful. Literally.
Exactly.
Way too powerful.
No, for real.
And if I could take a quick break, we have a donation from BT Sci-Fi. Thank you, Monty, for the stream and giving me the link to that VTuber Discord, and thank you, A-Town, for being a great individual and being part of me wanting to be a VTuber. And for Maya and Reina, I'll be seeing your stream soon. So yeah, thank you, VT Sci-Fi. Very, very cool of you.
I'm excited to see you there.
Yeah.
I'm sure my cult will give you a very warm welcome. They're very like, they love to interact with new people, so you'll love it there.
Absolutely. And the cult will if paralysis is present, you will very quickly.
You'll learn quick.
Okay. We have gotten very far into the tangents. I have not kept track of who has actually responded, or if there's anything else that we want to say. Favorite game genres, how you came to love it. If not, we can hit on to our next spicy question. And I suspect this is more along the lines of why everyone came. What is your most memorable date or friend experience, be that positive or negative?
It's gonna be long for me, so.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well,
go for it.
Okay. Well, for me, I don't know if you guys know who Shikun is, but he's my best friend. And you know, it's very interesting because I've never had a friend like him before, and we aren't dating. Oh, fucking everyone thinks we're dating, but it's because It's because we are closer than friends, but we aren't like romantically involved at all. It's all platonic, but it's like a whole nother kind of friendship, and it's like one I've never experienced, and it's just like it's just such a deep connection with a person, minus all the like romantic, you know, things like that. It's just more like you just genuinely enjoy being with that person and learning about what they like and sharing experiences together, because we're friends IRL too, so we see each other like all the time. But it's like I want more people to know that you can have friendships like that don't need to lead into being romantically involved, because it doesn't have, you can have like an amazing friendship that doesn't have to be, you know, a relationship. And like we've had ups and downs, definitely. We've had moments where we stopped talking to each other, but we just come back and we've been stronger than ever, like as friends. So honestly, I don't think I'll ever have or had a friend like him, and I just think that like the experiences I have with him are going to be the most memorable, if not they already are. So it's just kind of like, yeah, that's how it is for me with Shikun, who's, yeah, he's my best friend. He means a lot to me, so
it's so incredibly powerful.
Thank you.
Oh God, I really don't know how to respond to this one.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
had a
to
few
think of
ideas
something
tossed around.
interesting.
I can step in if neither you or Maya have anything.
I don't mind. I can go, I guess. I feel like I'm gonna ramble with
Go for it.
But honestly, I mentioned Zeri earlier, who's my girlfriend, and honestly my best friend as well. But if I honestly look through all my memories and I had to choose one memorable experience, honestly, I think it's the day I fell in love with her. We've never met IRL because we live on the other side of the globe from one another. But this one night, she asked me to do like this best friend quiz type thing, and we ended up like, it was supposed to be like 30 minutes, like you answer all the questions together, then you're done, you move on. But we ended up sitting in the call for something like 4 hours, and we were just answering all these questions together. And I think it's the moment we realized we had a lot in common, and we just realized how much we appreciated each other's values. And I feel like I can't like lose that memory of, I don't know, there's moments in your life where you feel like you have such a deep connection to someone that you can just tell them anything. And I remember on that day I told them things that I hadn't opened up to anyone about for years, and I don't know, I feel like that's really the day that I fell in love with her, and we're together since, so I feel like that's my most memorable memory.
Oh my,
you know,
Damn. This is supposed to be a spicy question.
You can't give us all diabetes like that.
Yeah, relationships are just such a wonderful thing, and they're just such a powerful thing, and it's like the different types of love that you can show someone is just so powerful. And there's so many, like, romance is such a powerful thing, and platonic friends, it's just all such a powerful thing. But it doesn't come easy. You have to really like work with it. Like you have to work for it. Yeah. Because like sometimes people be like, oh my god, like how are you and Shikun so close? And it's like, well, you have to put in work for it. You know, we aren't just like, oh my god, we're just this close, you know, for no reason. Like no, like you have to work for it. So if you want something like that, you have to put in the effort.
But no, I had to give you guys diabetes from the sweetness, because I've had a lot of
so cute. Like, that was so cute.
No, I've like had so many negative memories as well. Like,
oh no.
For once, like ever since I've started VTubing, like everything or almost everything has been very positive. So I was just trying to move past all the negative, you know. So I could have brought it up, but I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't be any good. So yeah.
No, I totally understand. But it's so nice to hear that you have such. Oh, sorry, Tim.
Oh no, you're fine. Keep going.
Oh, I was gonna say it's just so nice to know that you have such a wonderful girlfriend like that. Like that is such a powerful relationship, and you know, yeah, it's very wonderful.
I appreciate her, and I see her in chat, so I'm calling you out, Sari.
God. So cute. Freaking A. But, heck, I don't have anything nearly as wholesome as that. But, that's, God, y'all really, like, that was a tough act to follow.
Yeah. I'm rethinking what I want to say now.
So, I will say that there is, it's not really that the one experience was particularly like positive or negative or whatever, but it's sort of like the chain reaction that happened from it. So, back when I was dating one of my exes, the first date that we actually ever went on was, it was this local arcade that is like 15 minutes from my house. And little did I know, when I went there that first day, I was just expecting to, like, you know, go on a date and whatever, but it sort of turned into this like honestly like a hub. I have made so many friends there, and it has changed my life in so many ways that I honestly did not expect, and am still amazed by, because like that's where I got into rhythm games. Like I was always into rhythm games, but that's they have a lot of like Japanese rhythm games there, so I went from, oh, I like these, to full-blown addiction. And then just like all the friends I made there's so many amazing people. And so that one trip to that arcade basically has made me like 20 new friends, and has made a ton more experiences that I never really expected to have. So that was probably definitely one of the, it's sort of like the most like impactful moments of my recent memory. So yeah. Also, my ex and me are actually still really good friends. So we still go to the arcade, and funnily enough, I went on another date with another person to that same arcade, and I didn't end up going out with them, but we ended up becoming friends.
Yeah.
Like, so we all are friends now through just that one arcade. It really is, it's like a magical place. It's so weird. Yeah. So yeah.
You're making me want to go to an arcade now. I've never gone to one in my entire life, and like I keep seeing them in like movies and stuff, and I'm like, yo. But I've still yet to like find, like, I don't know if it's just my area, or like, I don't know, they don't seem to have any. But
Yeah.
I swear, the one day I'm gonna go to an arcade, I'm gonna think of you, Eitan. And I'm just gonna think of the possible memories that you can make there.
Well, because you gotta think about it, right? Like, who the hell is going to an arcade? It's probably a bunch of nerds. And so they're not gonna be like, well, I mean, some nerds can be really bad people, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you immediately have at least a little bit in common.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think Reina broke. Wait, no, there you go.
Sorry, I broke. I had a moment.
I reached
mute, and
over
I
and
was
just
like, oh,
like
shoot.
snapped the neck.
Mhm.
I am now the cult leader. Bow down to me. Okay, so Monty,
Cole, you hear
that?
do it.
After all that, I had a less wholesome one. But after all of that, I don't know if I can bring myself to like bring the mood down. So instead, I'll talk about my closest friend, who's my brother, my younger brother. We fought. Oh man, like us growing up, we were pieces of shit to each other. But like, I don't know when, but like we just kind of like grew into like we are reflections of each other. It is wild how like the smallest stupid thing we'll do to amuse each other. And like it's like we have one brain cell, and we're not smart with it, but like we are on the same wavelengths constantly. And one of the biggest things he's done for me is so when was this? I like to tell the story a lot, but November 30th, 2020, kind of had the realization of maybe I don't quite like where my life is right now. And I felt like I wasn't getting everything I wanted at that point, because at the time the job I had was not the best for mental health, and then it would be far more creative. And the very next day, December 1st, Niji Sanji EN is like, hey, we're looking for people. And I was like, wow, if like that has to be a sign from the universe. And I was very much like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never streamed before. I don't have the technical knowledge. Like I can't, like there's no way, like it for me to even go toward this is such a waste of time. But he was the one that pushed me of like, okay, well, if you don't have the knowledge, then why don't you just do it to gain the knowledge? Like why don't you be a streamer? Why don't you take on VTubing to see what it's like and see if it's a thing that you can do? And that the first like 2 months before I debuted it was constant, like, oh my god, like I'm super stressed, I don't know what I'm doing, like the debut I was planning was taking way too long. There were issues with like my illustration and rigging, but he was the kind of rock of like and as long as you enjoy it, as long as you keep taking that step forward every day, you will eventually get there. And like he was what kept me sane through all of this, and I fucking treasure him. Like I know a lot of people are unfortunate enough to be in a situation where like they aren't the best of friends with like their brothers. So I consider myself so incredibly fortunate that me and my brother is like effectively the same people. It is wild.
Yeah, that makes me happy to know, because someone very close to me had a brother, but they were probably as close as you guys were, and then they stopped talking, and it was really sad to see. And I don't think they've talked ever since. And but it's just nice to know that like other people, you know, still have that like friendship with their siblings. But yeah, it was just so disheartening to see. But I hope one day they can talk again.
Yeah, that bond is special.
It's weird, right? Because I've never like, I see a lot of people who have very strong connections to their family members, but I feel like everyone in my family is so vastly different from one another that we sort of just split into like each other's corners. But it's never like to the point where we don't like get along or can't trust each other. It's that we just don't really interact that much. So I always get really like, my heart always gets super warm when I hear stories like this.
This has easily been my most wholesome spicy question. Where did I go wrong? So to continue the dose of diabetes we're all getting, another sweet question, maybe less sweet, but just like overall like light and refreshing. Do you have any niche hobbies?
Oh yeah, playing music in general.
Ooh.
So ever since I was around 4 years old, right, my mom taught me how to play the piano. And I've been playing ever since, but I used to want to make it my job, so I used to practice like more than I did for anything school related. So I've gotten like really good at it, but I don't tend to play it that much, mostly because I feel like constantly overwhelmed, like VTubing or trying to get a job or college, what it may be. So like I've like sort of put it on the download these past years, and I tend not to tell many people about it. But I feel like the moment I do bring it up or I show people like some of like the songs I've played, I feel like they get really impressed. So I always have it as that little side hobby that I sort of tell people when I want to impress them and stuff.
I love it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel that, like especially now, I had to take a hiatus because trying to find a job and doing VTubing was just crumbling me. So all of my hobbies have taken a huge back step. It's a mess.
Good luck on the jobs, by the way. I saw like
thank you.
on Discord. I wanted to make like a Discord announcement. I was like, you guys better go like wish Monty.
You're too kind. Thank you.
For to sleep when I was about to do it.
Yeah, tech interviews are they can be pretty evil.
Yeah, this one,
Like,
No,
what?
definitely.
this was 5 interviews over 2 days. Like, oh man.
Jeez.
And we'll see.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that you probably got at least one that definitely wants to. Well,
Mhm.
No, you know what? I'm absolutely positive there.
Oh, thank you.
And then if it's not, well, it's their loss. There you go.
Okay.
Hmm. Thank you for the kind
oh
words.
God. I'm trying to think of. I mean, I do like 3D printing and stuff, but I feel like that's
Ooh.
not even that niche anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, like game dev and then like rhythm games and stuff like that. But I feel like all that's pretty, and even like you technically could say VTuber stuff is niche, but not
True.
really anymore.
Yeah, true.
God, I really don't know actually. Oh heck, that's a hard one. Reina, do you have one?
I like cosplay, but that's definitely not niche. I do cosplay.
Yeah.
But niche hobbies, I like Ida bagging.
Oh my
very
God.
much.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm sure you caught on, but I really like fictional characters. So I love Ida bagging because I really feel like it's a chance for me to really display like my love for a character.
Mm.
And I mean, there's other ways to like cosplaying them and things like that, but for me personally, it's just like collecting the merch and then showing it off. It's like, here's like my dedication.
Mm.
And I would love to make one for Kane, but he has like no merch. Like it would be like 3 charms and that would be it. So, but I've made some that are just super elaborate and like just totally like because for me personally, I love the messy Ida bags. So I've had some where it's like 70 count of like merchandise, and I just try and smash it all in as much as I can. I think 70 was the highest merch I've gotten for one character. I think something like that. So I'm a little crazy with that. And I like collecting t-shirts of my favorite bands and like
Ooh.
merchandise of my favorite bands and stuff like that. So that's one thing I like to do. Like if I can find a rare t-shirt, I'm like, oh yeah, let's get it. So
Oh God, I'm trying. I actually do that stuff too, so that's very relatable. But like I have so many goddamn enamel pens, I can't even.
yeah.
But I would actually so God, I don't even know if like woodworking or that sort of stuff is
I think that counts. Woodworking is amazing. I really wish I could get into it. I don't know, the
Oh,
space.
okay. Well then, yeah, that would probably be it then.
Mm.
It's like, because I really like making electronics and stuff. This hobby is like sort of a back burner hobby. Like whenever I really have nothing going on, because it takes so much time. But like I'm making a greenhouse right now. That's like a countertop
Ooh.
greenhouse.
Oh.
So the way it works is like there's like a water reservoir in the bottom, and in the middle is where the actual plants go, and basically there's a bunch of sensors that determine like how much water each plant should have, and I use CAD to design it all, and then like I cut out all the wood like 2 weeks ago and started assembling it and all that. So I definitely like I do that stuff, and I feel like that's probably that's like one of the most niche things I work on. So yeah.
That's really
It's
cool.
just random shit. Like, oh God, I just realized I don't know if I should be cursing on this stream.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
care. I
I-
swear a ton.
Oh, okay.
Because I swore at the start a lot. I was like,
Oh, me too. I was like, okay. No one said anything, so I kept swearing. I was like, okay,
God.
hey, like,
There was one time in college. This is like such a huge tangent, but about swearing. Where, basically, like, yeah, I had to turn something in online, and apparently I clicked the button to like draft it instead of actually submitting it. And
Oh,
my
no.
professor saw that and alerted me to it because it looked like it was turned in late.
mhm.
And I was like, oh, heck. And then I was like, and he looked at me, and I was like, oh, damn it. Oh, fuck. Oh, like I like escalated like 5 different times. 'Cause I think I said heck, damn it, shit, and then
Uh,
The guy just like put his hand on my shoulder and was like, "Stop." Oh my god, so embarrassing. But yeah, I try not to curse on stream, but it comes out. It still does.
Oh yeah, no, I
You know what?
feel that.
I felt that because at first I was trying not to swear at all, but one time I swore and everyone thought it was funny, and I thought it was funny too. So I was like, okay, we're gonna keep this bit going. I'm gonna say fuck, like.
Go the Coco route, where you just start like constantly trying to get everyone else on the stream to also curse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, definitely.
God, some of the stuff she said last night on the shitpost review, like insane.
God, oh god, I'm gonna miss her so much. I
Mhm.
mean,
Me
yeah.
too, yeah.
I feel like everyone. Like, oh my god, when I watched it, I actually had a bunch of friends over when we were watching the stream where she announced it, and we all sort of just looked at each other and then just like sort of sat there for like 30 minutes
Mm.
and didn't really do much.
Yeah.
We'll not get into that obviously, but like I just I hope that everything works out for her, obviously.
Same.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
same.
Yeah, she's such a big inspiration. Like I go out of my way to like kind of shove it in everyone's face of like how much she's done for the EN VTuber scene. I think I'd go as far as to say there wouldn't be an EN VTuber scene without her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's look at the unstoppable force she will miss. Yeah. To try to bring
down the whole mood.
Yeah. Why is it that happens on the sweet one?
But like doing the opposite of everything.
To bring it back, so some of my niche hobbies, I'm like trying to learn instruments. It's not going well. The closest I am is the keyboard, but I have not practiced that in so long.
Play the cowbell.
I have a kazoo.
You have a kazoo.
I have a kazoo, and it's
Play the wood block.
no, I think I have a kalimba. I have a harmonica as well.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel it. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
It is not great. But I also behind me right now, I have like the biggest collection of hardcover books you could imagine. And it's like when people buy games just to like know that they're there and they see their Steam library get bigger. Like I just have a ton of hardcover books, leather-bound books that are just there, and I don't have the time to read them. But like, I mean, there's a reason I'm wearing a hardcover book right now. Like something about them is just majestic.
Yeah.
I like how you said you were wearing the book. Wait, so what is that book? I just realized.
It's I don't even know. I just kind of wanted I wanted a book, and my lore has gone around a ton of it, and I've never kind of like figured out what. Like I've never solidified it, I guess. So there just is a book that I am wearing. I like to think it's what I write in, or like I take notes in. So we're finally here at one of the spicier questions that I'm sure everyone here was waiting for.
Starts getting scared.
What kind of person is your type? And this
Kane
is
from League of Legends.
I bet you got ahead of it.
Kane, like
he's a hot dude. Tall
That's
drink
it.
of water.
yeah, exactly.
just-
See, you get it. You get it.
I don't know if I can get into how edgy of his voice lines are, but like him, no, I see it.
I can change. I can fix him. I can fix him. I can fix him. I'll take him to a therapist. I got it. I'll show him what love is like.
I love it.
Oh boy, I'm trying to. So, do you mean like in terms of like what exactly were you looking for in this question? Like, are you talking personality or?
I guess like all of it, or as much as you want to answer. You know, like the physicality, their personality, interests, just anything about a person that makes them your type.
Oh, definitely. Probably one of the biggest things is they have to be like pre-driven. Because I'm going for like a purely practical approach right now. I just realized it's like but the problem is that a lot of people that like I meet and date like that's probably one of the biggest things I look for, because I feel like I'm always doing so much stuff that if they can't really keep up, it's not gonna work out. So like they have to have their own stuff that they're like super passionate about and all that, or else it's just sort of it just doesn't feel quite as fun to have like a relationship where, because the whole idea, right, is that like you build off of each other. So if I'm in a relationship where the other person like doesn't have any like super hobbies that they're into, it's like, well then I'm not going to be exposed to any new things by being in a relationship with them. So it's not all that interesting for me. And then like from a purely like just looks like superficial, like mega superficial, just like tall girls. Yeah, like honestly it's just like tall girls. If they have abs, that's even better. Yeah, no, like honestly, just, yeah.
No, I'm. Oh, what was that? Oh, you got really excited, imagining the perfect girl.
Girl.
But no, I'm.
Laugh. The tracking just goes off the rails.
It's okay. Sometimes for me too.
Yeah, there's this weird thing with my rigging where like if I don't pay attention, I'll just start leaning off to the side. I can't even get it. Like I'll just like start leaning. And oh, see, there it is. Like I'm standing up straight now, and like I don't know what to do to fix it. Oops.
It like yeah.
But no, I'm much the same. Both in like I want a passionate person. Like I consider myself a very passionate and ambitious person, and like for someone that doesn't have that same drive and motivation to be better and do cool things, or just like have something that they really care about, I don't know if I could. I don't know if it'd work out. Like I'm the kind of person that like if I'm really into something, I'll splurge and rant about it and nerd out about it, and I want to be able to share that with someone else, and I want to be excited in whatever they're nerding out about. But then I've had like crushes before where it's like, oh, they like I don't know if there's a nice way to put it, but like they don't care about anything. It's like I don't.
Yeah.
I can't. But then other than that, yes, tall girls and finely dressed girls and finely dressed guys. I consider myself a 1 on the Kinsey scale, so like I am heterosexual, but incidentally I would be like, holy shit, that's a really fucking fine looking man, and every time it's a well cut, finely dressed man. That is what does it for me.
God, I hate when like you're like, oh, is this person like attractive? And they're like, what? I'm not gay. Like I can't answer that. I'm like,
coward.
Yeah, coward.
Yeah, exactly.
Coward,
well,
like.
No, but like even if they aren't gay, like I don't really care. You can obviously still tell if the same sex is attractive.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, exactly. Like you can say it. The coward, like say it.
Like that.
Yeah, like
that one video of Jason Momoa where he I forget how exactly it goes, but he's at like an axe bar. The first thing he does is down a thing of beer, swings the throwing axe and gets a bow. So I'm like, dude, oh my god.
And then personally for me, I don't really talk about my sexuality that much because I mean I am attracted to girls, but the thing is for me it's like being homosexual, heterosexual, bisexual, you know, anything like that, to me it's like the same as having like brown eyes, you know. It's just who you are, and it's the same as having like long hair, short hair. So I don't really talk about it much, because it's like, to me it's like, okay, if I'm gay or not, it's not really like anyone's business but my own, personally. Or like, but I'm not closeted or anything, but it's just like, to me it's like, I would rather you just talk to me for who I am, and not like me being like, oh guys, you know, I am attracted to girls, you know, by the way, like, guys, hello, you know, personally for me. But if you're proud of who you are, that's so awesome, and it makes me so happy to see people, you know, be so open about it, and things like that. And if that's how you want to be, that makes me so happy. Like, I'm so happy personally. For me, it's just like, okay, it's just another part of me, like, it's just, you know, like, just like that. Yeah, so that's how I am personally.
The people that like make it a huge part of their personality, I typically don't get along with.
Yeah, no, same.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
I don't want to get too far into it, but it's like the LGBT discourse that people throw around, no one cares about in real life. You go to a pride event, no one fucking cares. They're just here. They're just there to celebrate who they are. So yeah, no, I totally like feel that too. It's like people who make it like their personality completely. It's like, you know, there's more to it. There's more to you than just being gay. Like you have so much more going on for you than just, oh, I'm gay, you know what I mean?
It's a complete side note, but honestly, it's not completely, I mean, it's not completely the same. It's not the same at all, but I'm transgender, and I know a lot of people who make that their entire personality. And I often tell people who ask me, oh, like, why don't I mention it as much, or why don't I speak about it as much? And I just say, like, oh, it's because I don't want to be known for that, essentially. Because I know a lot of streamers who are trans, like, they just make it their entire thing, and it's like, I don't want to be known for that. I want to be known for who I am, like,
yeah, who you are.
Exactly. So I feel like it's sort of the same with like being gay or whatever it may be. Like, you have these people who just like, it's the only thing that's constantly spoken about, or like it's their entire thing, and I'm just like there's so much more to you. Like, let that flourish, and I don't know.
No, totally, exactly.
But no, if I had to choose my type, it completely depends, because I'm completely different depending on if I'm hoping to be with a guy or a girl. If it's a guy, then they need to be taller than me. That's 100%. But it's weird, right? Because if I'm dating a girl like Zeri, like, I feel like if they're taller than me, I'm just gonna be so intimidated. Like, I can't. So I need them to be smaller, and like, I don't know, but usually I always look towards personality more, which I know a lot of people say, but I can't completely judge people just on their looks, because I've dated like such different people, and I feel like I've still not quite found my type. So I feel like I just need to get to know them, and like, if you click, you click, and that's all there is. And
it's the exact opposite for me. Like, I basically consider myself gay. I don't really find guys attractive, but if I ever was to get with a guy, I was like, they have to be shorter than me. Like, so it's like the guy would have to be shorter, and the girl has to definitely be taller. Basically, like, I feel like I'm like only attracted to feminine guys, and like only attracted to like, not like butch, but you know, just like androgynous women, or like, oh, chef's kiss, like, so good.
Yeah, no, for me it's like any woman, but if you're a guy, you have to be Kane, or else I'm not gonna look at you. Like, no way.
Oh my god. Y'all can't see it, but because this model doesn't have blushing, but I am bright red. I don't talk about that stuff a lot, so yeah.
This is exactly what I was hoping for. There's something fun to like putting people on the back foot and making like ever so slightly uneasy, because especially if everyone else is slightly uneasy, then it's just like you get the real answers with these kind of questions.
True.
So let's go ahead and give everyone a bit of a breather. With our next sweet question, what is your most favorite food, and what's your least favorite food?
Oh, that's...
love food. I love to eat. Like, if anyone's watching my stream, I had a tiny snack earlier when I was not, because I get hungry. I do.
Fair.
So I love eating.
Eating is great.
I love to eat. I eat every stream. Like I come on in, and everyone's like, okay, what she's eating today, and I'm like, guys, I'm eating this chicken, and it's so good. So I like. So my least favorite food is tomatoes.
Yes.
I don't like tomatoes.
It's a texture thing, right? Like it's something about it being slimy.
Yeah, fuck the tomatoes. I hate tomatoes. Yeah, fuck tomatoes. Like, my favorite food. That's really hard because I love to eat. I love macarons, not macaroons. They're mixed up a lot, but macarons are like my all-time favorite sweet. So that may be the closest thing I have to a favorite food. I also really like. I like chow mein too. I really like chow mein.
I haven't had chow mein in so long. I'm super hungry for it now.
I love chow mein, and as basic as it is, I also really like pizza. But I'm sure everyone.
Hey,
likes
sure.
pizza.
Wait, okay. What kind of pizza? What kind of pizza?
You're gonna hate me for that.
It doesn't involve pineapple. Wait.
No, it's just basic as hell.
I know that's fine. I'm much the same. I'd prefer meat levers.
Shiku needs pineapple. Okay. I don't.
Listen.
He ate it in front of me.
I think
like,
pineapple
oh
and
God.
pizza is kind of okay. You've got the blend of the tart and the savory.
No, I'm not listening to this. I'm sorry, Monty. I love you, but I'm not listening to that. No, I'm not. No, do not put pineapple anywhere near pizza in front of me.
I have. I was gonna leave, but I have an excuse. But you guys might just hate this more. So a meal that my mom makes that I've literally never seen anywhere else. She will make what is effectively like rice with a curry, with like bell peppers, sesame, really spicy fried chicken bits with pineapple. So fried chicken, pineapple, curry, and it is the best goddamn thing.
But that actually sounds really good.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it doesn't sound bad. Like compared to pineapple on pizza, like that sounds like it can work. It sounds like it can work.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole salty sweet thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about pineapple and pizza makes it not work?
It's just like the way that pizza tastes. It's like savory, and you just have like this like the cheese and stuff like that and the sauce, and you're eating that, and then you just have the fucking pineapple come in, and it's like sweet as hell. Yeah, and it's like, bro, I don't like that. Like, no, it doesn't taste good together. It just, so I don't like it.
This is low-key the question I was like dreading the most because I'm
Really?
such a picky eater. Okay.
Ooh.
That's fair.
Like,
that's fair.
it's like genuinely an issue. Like, I was underweight until last week. I finally came to normal weight again. Which I
Congrats.
was really proud of.
Yeah, congrats.
But like, I just can't eat anything. But if I had to choose a favorite food, it would definitely be crepes.
Ooh.
Which are really like not famous here, but because I live in French Canada, right? And we have a lot of pastries and stuff. So things like cinnamon rolls or crepes are always on my favorite because I feel like with sweets, I can just, I can enjoy the taste without needing to eat too much. Yeah. But if I had to choose something I like the least, I don't know because the moment I don't like the smell of something, I just don't even taste it. So I don't know what I don't like because I just not tasted enough foods, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I feel that. I was a picky eater up until like 22, and I'm 25. Yeah, there's so I'm Vietnamese, and my parents do a lot of Vietnamese cooking, but Vietnamese cooking relies like heavily on like sauces. There's a fish sauce that it tastes great, but it smells wrong, so I just don't ever want it, which means like half of every meal it's just like, oh, well, I guess we'll just give Monty the slightly different one that doesn't have the thing, and of course it doesn't taste as good, but I just cannot.
Yeah.
I think, well, my least favorite food, tomatoes are up there. I think for
Tomatoes.
me,
I don't like the fucking tomatoes. Like
for me, it's almost entirely like a smell and a texture thing. Like there's quite a few things where like my monkey brain will make a switch from this is food to like this is a corpse. So like my mom likes shrimp. She's not always good at making shrimp.
God,
So yeah, there was one like really bad meal. I really hope she's watching this. There was one really bad meal where it was so, the shrimp was so crunchy that like my brain could not be convinced that it was anything but biting to a huge bug, and it was just then and there I just couldn't do shrimp. Yeah, or like I mean most sauces, like if I have a burger, I'm like, hey, like go easy on like the ketchup and the mayo and the mustard. Like I'll usually just ask for none of that, because like the moment there's any code sauce, it like it's just ooze to my brain and I can't do it.
You know what? That's fair, because I don't like ketchup on hot dogs. Like I cannot stand ketchup on hot dogs. And like ketchup, like overly ketchup up hamburger. It's like, this isn't really good, you guys.
Yeah.
So I would say probably like one of my least favorite foods is like eggplant. Which is like that's like a double joke right there. Is what I said for the last question. So there you go.
And your most favorite food is clam.
Oh my god. Okay, well now we've got God, this is a sweet question. What are we doing? Clam, oh god, I actually really do love oysters. I like them raw. They're really good.
Ooh.
But oh my god, sorry. Okay. Oh, bright red again. That's great. So I would say I grew up on like a lot of like Asian food, a lot of Vietnamese food actually, but also a lot of like Japanese and Korean food. So like curry katsu is so freaking good.
I love
probably
curry katsu.
It's pretty high up there, if not like the number one. And there was a place actually near my house that made it was like curry, katsu, and udon noodles all mixed together. And, oh my god, it's so freaking good. They actually recently closed, which sucks, but still amazing. So that, and like I really like onigiri, and there's like honestly I really also like pho, and like I honestly like there's just so much like Asian cuisine around my place that is all just so freaking delicious. It's so good. So basically like all of that. And then least favorite, eggplant. Not really a fan of tomatoes actually.
I'm so happy there's so many tomato haters with us today. That makes me so happy.
Like I don't know. It's just I don't know what it is. It's sort of like, it's also just like why they don't even have that much like. It's a completely texture thing for me. Yeah, no, definitely. Like, and then it's like the taste and the texture, like they're just so watery, but not in like the sweet way like watermelon is, because I love watermelon. It's just so watery in the like ugly, evil way. I don't know how to. Yeah, and then there's like, I mean, I feel like texture is like actually extremely important for a lot of people, because there's a lot of people that like don't like tofu for the texture, and like they don't like natto. God, I said that so freaking weird. For the texture, because it's like that slimy. Also okra. I've found a lot of people that don't like okra.
What is okra?
Like,
I don't know.
when it's a vegetable. It's it's like if you steam it, it becomes sort of slimy almost in the inside. And a lot of people find that like very disconcerting, so they don't particularly like it. I honestly, I really like frying it, but steaming is also really good. So
Yeah,
Texture is important.
I think so. I think so.
I didn't know what okra was until I googled it. I was like, oh no, I do know that. My mom makes it and I hate it.
Oh no. Yeah. Well, oh god. Okay, so many people are like, Brussels sprouts are disgusting. And I'm
But
like,
if you cook them well, they're
exactly. Oh my god. People like I see people cook Brussels sprouts and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like,
Yeah, no, literally.
oh my god, they don't even spice it or anything. I'm like, of course it's gonna taste like shit.
Yeah, yeah, no, literally. Like, what did you expect?
Oh
You
my
can't
god.
just cook raw vegetables and like make them raw and then be like, oh my god, this tastes so bad. Like, of course it tastes bad. You didn't do anything to it.
Like, literally, even the best, like, you get like a Kobe steak and it's like amazing, right? Of course it's gonna taste better if you freaking season it though. It's like the whole point. God, oh my god, I can't deal with people who don't like use any seasoning. Monty, honestly, when you were like, I don't use sauce, I was like, why?
Oh yeah.
I'm very opinionated about that.
Every time I go out to like a burger place and I'm like, hey, so like I don't want any ketchup, I want any mayonnaise. I can do barbecue sauce, but like only if it's a little. The moment, like, if fuck it, we've sworn on this before. If I bite into a burger and the sauce like spoots into my mouth, that's how you know you fucked up. Like it's I can't I don't want my food spooting in me.
Oh my god.
And yet every like burger place I know, like they destroy it in sauce, and like the slime, I cannot do it.
So wait, how do you not like get fried eggs on
No,
your
yeah,
burger?
So I've had fried eggs on a few of my burgers. It's not something I like go out of my way to look for, but I do like it.
Okay, so like you're not opposed to like sunny side up eggs.
No, I don't care. It's easier if there's rice, because then like that kind of like absorbs the yolk.
Right.
Oh, so it's like purely the fact that it's like a semi-solid.
Yeah.
liquid thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's so
God.
weird. Like so many of my friends have like tried to pin down what exactly it is. Because I mean, like I usually don't like anything to do with tomatoes whatsoever, but then like I'll tolerate it on pizza, and I think that's just because it's more like,
It's not as noticeable.
yeah, and it's more solid. I don't know if that's the correct thing to say, but it's less slimy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's head on over to our next spicy question. Another one that everyone was super excited for, and one that I really wanted to hear the answers to. If you wouldn't get in trouble, what is the least say-so thing you would stream?
Oh my god, I was waiting for this one. I was like, oh my god, when is this thing? Okay, I'm gonna go last.
You could be like that one person that streamed them having like a fun time with their boyfriend.
Okay, well my boyfriend
As
isn't
a
real,
VTuber.
unfortunately. My boyfriend in League of Legends, he isn't real, so unfortunately I can't have sex with him on stream, even though I'd love to, but I can't, so that cannot be me.
God, oh my god, that was so weird. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do. I
Yeah.
do know what you're talking about.
I remain in the dark, and I think I want to keep it that way.
Yeah, I think
Honestly, you're
Oh, no.
better off for that. Oh god, I have no idea. Maya, do you want to go?
See, the thing is, I'm not like an unsay-so person. Like, there's nothing that I would inherently like want to stream, even if I was given like the time to. So I don't really have an answer for this question, because like, I don't know. I'm like, it's weird, right? Because I will like get lewd art and whatever it be, it doesn't matter. But when I actually look at the amount of like lewd things that I've even like gotten involved with or like looked at, like it's zero. Like there's nothing. So I feel like there's just nothing I would stream even if I was given permission to. But, Yeah, now I'm the red one because I feel fucking innocent, like saying this. But yeah.
They're
No,
already
I'm-
starting to act up in the chat.
Yeah, I
Fig,
see his face here.
enough, Fig, enough. Okay, enough. No, do not send it to Pureless. Enough. Hold up. We are in someone else's house. Enough.
No, I'm much the same as Maya. Like I don't I'm not a very sexually minded person. Like I'll make adult jokes, I'll swear a ton, and I mean adult jokes is like the furthest I'll go. But as far as like actual like sexual related stuff, I'm like I feel like I'd be way too embarrassed to do any of that. Like I'm probably the closest I get is I would write steamy fan fiction or just steamy stories overall. Like some people in chat may have witnessed this, but when everyone found out that Reina had a thing for Kane, I was like, I must write the biggest Kane x Reina fan fiction ever. There were 40 pages to it. It was
And
amazing.
then I read it on stream while I played League of Legends. So
But that was my first foray into like writing romance, and a lot of people were expecting, oh, Monty just wrote like 40 pages of smut. I'm like, I don't know if like I can bring myself to write smut, much less have anyone read it. Like, God, I would die of embarrassment, but I would certainly give that a shot if I knew I wouldn't get in trouble and no one would judge me for it.
God. Okay, I actually did come up with something. I'm not like, so I'd probably say like I would love to read like manga or something that is like slightly sexual on stream. I feel like that would be kind of fun, even if it's like a little bit unsay-so. Or like there's a few VNs that I won't bother touching because like there's some stuff in it that I don't really feel comfortable showing. But like I feel like that sort of stuff would actually be really fun, but nothing like too crazy, because to be completely honest, I don't really want to bring that energy to my streams. I get too red too easily.
okay, so okay.
I'm very excited for this.
Same.
So
Oh, are you gonna read what Monty did on stream?
Oh no, I already
Oh.
did. It's very long.
It's very long. I was considering reading it again because I don't think you were able to keep the archive because chat went wild.
Yes, they no, I still have it, but I don't know if I can post it or not. Okay,
I'll read
so
it on stream later.
I was Seiso at first, and I thought that was how it was gonna be. But I kind of took the marine route, so that's where I am now. I say okay. So when I am a product of the chat, and when they say the things they say, it gets me going. So I really like Kane from League of Legends, you guys. Okay, it's not a joke. It's not a bit. I really like it. Like literally. Okay. Okay. So. Okay. So.
You got this.
I have said some very raunchy things on stream.
Yes, you have.
But my chat, especially Carlos,
Fig.
we love her, but Fig, no, stop!
Fig.
Oh my God, no! Why are you bringing the milk in here? Why are you bringing enough? Fig, enough! No milk, no, enough.
My
Anyway,
curiosity
see-
grows.
Okay. Well, the milk came from Monty. How bad can I get on this stream?
I talked about a burger spooting in my mouth. I think you're good.
I mean, I can talk about the spit. I can talk about the fucking Lord. Okay, so I'm so sorry that this is one of the first impressions you guys have of me, Maya Atam.
It's great. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go crazy.
Ah.
Hey, really? Okay. What? they talk about me milking him all the time. They talk about me making fucking cheese out of his cum. They make me talk about like what else? Spit, because they found out. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I have a thing for spit in my mouth, and they fucking took that and they ran wild. So now I don't have control of that anymore. It's the chat. So what I'm trying to say is I'm already pretty bad, and I get very flustered very easily, and then I get into it very easily. So there has been times where people have sent me donos where they're
Oh yeah.
okay, so they're like very raunchy. Like they're like guys, this is getting weird, kind of like raunchy. And if I could, without getting like YouTube like banning me, I would read them. So that's probably the most unsay-so thing I would do. And I'm talking about it, it's like straight up like talking about him like fucking me like really descriptively. And I'm like, guys,
What the fuck?
enough. Chat, enough. No, like literally this. If you want to know what my chat is like, that's what it's like. Like you walk in. Okay, it used to be like every stream they talked about it, but for now, it's like they talk about it during the league stream. So I kind of have the designated Shieta Kane time, which is like the league streams. I'm like, okay, guys, it's Kane time. Like, anything else? Okay, let's like tone it down a bit. You know what I mean? Okay. So you come into the league streams, you're gonna see some. God, you're gonna see some shit. So that's I would read those really descriptive donos if I could without, but I get banned. Like I would get banned so fast. Like they're so fucking crazy. Like. So yeah, that is my answer for that. I created a monster. Literally Monty saw it happen. So I don't even. Oh, it was because So I have this friend Ika. I have this friend named Ika, and he like Set from League of Legends. So one time I was fucking with him, and I was going on stream, and I was like, "Hey, you guys want to fuck with Ika? Ask him about Set from League." And then he came back at me. He was like, "Okay, ask Reina about Kane." And I was like, "Shut up! I fucking hate you." And then when I was on the, I did, and then I wasn't expecting him to throw me under the bus like that. So then Monty was on the Dead by Daylight stream, and someone mentioned his name, and I got so embarrassed. And from then on, I'm the League streamer now. From then on, I'm the Kane League streamer. I don't even play him because I can't fucking play jungle. So, but I main Akali because in canon she thinks he's hot. So I'm like, okay, I see it.
Is that literally the only reason why you play her?
That's the reason I started playing her, and then I started really liking her as the character. No, because in the comics, in the Zen comics, there was like this part where because Kane's master and Akali's master have beef with each other, like they're fucking beefing. So she comes up and she's like, "You're kind of hot. Like your eyes are like you're crazy, but you're kind of hot." And in the game, one of her voice lines when she sees Kane is, "Why are the hot the hot ones always crazy?" So I was like, I need to play this fucking champion. So now I'm worse to Akali NA, and I pride myself on that. So that's how it is. So TLDR, if I could get really raunchy on stream, it would be so bad, and the chat would probably go, "Oh my god, I don't even
fucking field day."
Yes, and you've been there, Monty. Like you've seen it. Like you have. Like they would go insane. Like it would just be like 10 times worse. I was useless, like 100% useless during the Dead by Daylight stream. I couldn't even think. I couldn't even think. Yes, yeah. It do be like that, exactly. No. It does.
Welcome,
guys,
Lena.
oh my god, stop. Oh my god. But yeah, that's what
It do be like that, Lena.
most interesting answer I can give. It would be bad.
What an interesting
It would be pandemonia. So I'm so thankful that YouTube would not allow that. I've been saved by the bell. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, I honestly, this was the question I was expecting to answer the most for. Like I was expecting to talk the most for. This was like the Reina question. I was like, oh, I saw it and I was like, oh Lord, I have to talk about fucking Kane, huh? So here I am.
I swear I'm gonna come into stream just to witness it.
It's yeah. I stream League usually Wednesdays, so if you want to catch that and see a little bit of it, it's they let me have one game where they don't talk about him, because then after that I can't play because I'm too flustered, I'm too distracted, like I'm too like you know what I mean? Like I can't play. So yeah, they give me one game and that's it.
And for a bit of a breather, especially for Reina, let us move on to our next sweet question. What story, be that a book, anime, movie, etc., impacted you the most?
Fig, save it for Wednesday. Save it for Wednesday. I don't want to hear about that again. That was too much. Oh god.
It's not split pushing unless you have a boots of travel.
Oh no, you don't even know the worst of it.
I actually have a few that like kind of came to mind because I consider myself a really sentimental and like emotional person. So like when a story hits me, I've never found a good word for it, but you know how after a good story you just feel like empty inside for the next week of just like, now what? I don't know if I can explain it well. In the very first time that actually happened was Karawa Shoujo. After I went through all of I was like what, 14? So very hormonal. But after I'd gone through all of the routes and seen everything, it was just like I cared so much for these characters and now they're just done. And that like, I don't want to say it devastated me, but like just the fact that like there was like this emptiness in me of like, now what? I don't know if I can explain it. It's so weird. But I've gotten that with like Kimi no Nawa, Outer Wilds, which is an amazing game that literally everyone should play. Valhalla, the cyberpunk waifu bartending.
Oh, I need to play
it's
that
so
game.
good. It is so good. You can beat the whole thing in like 12 hours, and it is. You care so much about everything. The world building is insane. Like I'm such a sucker for cyberpunk and world building overall. So that I wouldn't get to live in that world anymore. Like I miss it so much.
Oh god, I have a funny story about that game.
Ooh, do tell.
This is a huge tangent, but
I love it.
So yeah. So you know Anagram from that game?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so the story for one of the game that Aton's actually from, originally the story was actually a prequel to that game. Because do you know ROM? It's set like in the same storyverse, sort of. It's a lot less popular.
I am not sure. Is that also?
It's not by the same people, but it was set like in the same storyverse, and so around that time, I was actually considering releasing. Like basically, I talked to the devs and was like, "Hey, like, do you want to do something similar like that to my game?" And basically, I was gonna make a prequel for Anagram from Valhalla, and so Anna. Or Aton, as she eventually became known, because basically I took their story, wrote out like a prequel for it, and then we were talking about it. It never ended up happening, obviously, but a lot of things are left over from that in the final version of the game. So it's kind of hilarious because like the Tokyo flu and all that. Is like all still in my story, so there's quite a bit of like I basically there's a fuck ton of references, so it's just really funny because yeah, that game was very near and dear to my heart. The developers are really awesome. They were like it didn't end up working out because our time frames were really different, but yeah, it was just like really wild. I actually have like the two plushes for Jill and the boss.
Ooh.
And I love those things to death. They're absolutely amazing. I like collect every single bit of merch I possibly can. Yeah, no, that game is like actually a game.
It's so good, and it's I looked it up to so I would get the spelling correct. It's on sale right now for $10. Give them your money. They 100% deserve it. You're gonna love it. Every second of it.
Do you know the story behind the devs?
No, I don't.
So they actually during the end of that game's development, they were in a pretty precarious situation. So they're God, I don't want to get the country wrong. I think it was Venezuela. They were living there, and they actually were having like power outages as they were trying to finish the game because everything was kind of falling apart around them. So the game actually gave them a pretty big boost. It was a lot more popular than they expected. So that money like basically like single-handedly like went to improving their life. So it's actually like it's a really heartwarming story if you look more into it. So yeah, that's what I mean by like the developers are seriously awesome people. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sorry, I really yeah, that game is very near and dear to me.
Yeah.
God, that's honestly one of the best parts about game development is meeting other game developers. They're like all so freaking nice. There's very few. It's just honestly, it's a lot like the VTuber community where they're just like really willing to help you and stuff, and like super awesome. Like, have any of y'all heard of A Dance of Fire and Ice?
A Dance of Fire and Ice.
That's familiar.
Or also it's they're working on another game called Rhythm Doctor. So these are both rhythm games, and they also they're like pretty good friends. So it's just yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm like completely. This is such a tangent. Anyway, I guess to answer your question, a lot of the impactful ones are where like I just got really involved with the community, and usually that means the developers. So that would probably definitely be my answer. It's not like any one thing in particular. It's usually just yeah, it's stuff like that where it's like you really get into the whole like part of it. Like even like Skullgirls, like seeing it develop. I mean, obviously it's been a little bit tainted recently because of the whole yeah. But kind of the studio exploded. But before that it was great. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Sorry, I rambled for way too long. Y'all have to say your part now.
God. So I know the answer to this one. It's like the clearest thing, but I can never speak about it too much because it makes me super fucking emotional.
Oh.
But it's an anime movie. It's called The Silent Voice.
Yes.
You guys have seen it. But it's very personal to me because until last year I had aphonia. I mean, I still do technically, but it's essentially a condition that affects your vocal cords and means you can't speak for the most part. Some people can make a few like sounds and everything, but you really usually you can't really speak or at all. So when I saw that movie for the first time, of course it was about a deaf person, but the fact that she couldn't really express herself and speak at all, and all the themes in the movie sort of really hit close to home. And so ever since I saw it for the first time, I swear I've watched it like 4 times a year. And every time I watch it, I don't know, something about it just really connects with me, and I get very emotional and tend to cry over it a lot. Yeah, Zeri, you were correct. Like, I had to speak about a silent movie. It's such a good movie. It's so special to me, and I don't know. And Kim Nawa as well. Like, I saw you mention it earlier. Like, that movie is absolutely amazing. They're definitely in my top 2, and I feel like if I had to pick anything that have impacted me the most, it's just definitely Silent Voice. That's all I'll say on the matter, because I'm gonna cry.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're
So
good.
you don't have to apologize at all.
Yeah.
For me personally, I think the media that impacted me the most was like Higurashi, like all 07th expansion
Yes.
works.
Mm.
Yeah, like Higurashi and Higurashi and Umineko are my all-time favorite visual novels, and like literally my all-time favorite piece of manga media. Like I love Higurashi and it's like when I first read it, because before then I was like watching all the basic anime like the Naruto and all that. Like I was a big Naruto fan and stuff and all that, and then I discovered Higurashi through the anime, and I watched that shit. Like I watched through the whole like anime, like all the arcs, like 4 times. Like I was like, this is so fucking good, and it still is. And then I went to the visual novel and I was like, oh my god, this is even better. And then I found out about Umineko and I was like, can I talk about spoilers here? Or...
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same, because like,
Ooh.
are you gonna be watching something?
Yes.
Because it seems like they're connecting to Umineko like so much. And I was like,
Because Burncastle was always Rika, but when they connected Lampa Delta to Satoko, I was like, holy shit! Because everyone thought she was Takano. Everyone thought Lamba was Takano, but then they confirmed Lamba as Satoko because she's starting to go crazy, and it built in so perfectly. Because you know how Lamba and Burn, they're like lovers, but they also hate each other.
Yeah.
And it's like that's starting to happen in Gao between Rika and Satoko. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm so happy, because like Takano as Lamba was so boring to me when I first originally thought it was her. I was like, this shit sucks, like fuck. But I'm just so like, I'm so happy. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, but yeah, it was the first thing that really started getting me into like the deeper parts of the anime community, like the visual novels, and stuff like that. And alongside 07th expansion is Toho. So those two things.
Oh god.
Yeah. Those two things were the ones that really, really got me into like all the vast amounts of media that like anime and manga as a whole like have to offer. Like that's really what started branching out from just like, okay, I'm watching Naruto and I'm watching like Sword Art Online or like something like that. I was really young when I like started watching anime, like really young, and I was like, okay. And then I found this, and it's like, okay, now I'm going into like all that, all the niche things, all the cool things, like all the video games that there are and stuff like that. So I'm just like Toho and 07th are like the two things that will always stay with me and will always be with me, because they were just like the first things that I saw that was like, okay, yes, like this is so good. But yeah, Gao is so good so far.
Yeah.
When I heard that it was like an expansion on the already existing universe, I was like,
See,
oh
that's
my
the thing.
goodness.
Like when I started watching it, I thought it was just like a remake of the first season,
Yeah.
right? But then they revealed like everything is just a continuation, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I'm
I'm
sad
so
that
happy.
so little people like know about it, because I always want to like talk
Yeah.
about it with someone, and I'm like, have you seen this? Have you seen it? Everyone's like, no.
And yeah, I'm like, have you read Higurashi? Hey, have you read Higurashi? No? Oh,
But
okay.
that's such
Like,
an anime that you need to like theorize with your friends about. So like, I don't
yeah.
know. I'm definitely gonna come to you about it.
Oh my god, please, like literally, we can talk about it for hours, like please. And it was like Higurashi and Umineko were like the first, like they were the first inspirations for me to like write my own stories and stuff, and like my own like make OCs and things like that. Like that was like the inspiration. And then going back on like Funamama, from then on, it like that, and then from then on I found her works, and that was like even another bigger inspiration. So like those pieces of media have always like stuck with me. So oh god, please talk about Higurashi with me. Who's your favorite character? I need to know.
Brinxa, I told you at the start.
Oh yeah. That's right.
The moment you mentioned it, I was like, yo, light bulb? What?
Yeah, Lightbulb, exactly. I really like Bito. I love her so much. I want to be her so bad. Evil witch that's lived for thousands of years. Like that's what I aspire to be every day. Like I love Reina too. Reina's story is so sad. I love her.
Anime is like literally I got exposed to it because one of my friend's dads had a fuck ton of VHS tapes that just
Ooh.
dated me.
Oh, yeah.
And like he just like ripped stuff or like I don't even know. It's probably like yeah, it was very old anime. And I remember I actually so I studied animation and like film in school. So a lot of my initial introduction to animation was actually like French animation. It wasn't anime. And it was really funny. I was actually, do y'all know Donkey?
Yes.
Okay, so he
Yeah.
just released a video about Playtime, which I thought it was gonna be a joke, but it was literally about Playtime, which is like one of my favorite movies of all time. And I was just talking to a friend about the fact that like Jacques Tati is like one of my favorite directors, and Sylvain Chomet is one of my favorite French animators. And Sylvain Chomet made Jacques Tati's The Illusionist. So even though he had died like several years before that, he had written a screenplay that never got made into a movie. And so Sylvain Chomet ended up animating it for him. And it's like literally one of my favorite movies of all time, like hands down. So like that sort of stuff was really what introduced me. But then also I just like started watching, like I randomly came across like Chobits, which is again like that's, I would not recommend anyone watch that.
Yeah,
show
no,
nowadays.
for real.
But like I remember watching it and I was like, oh, this is like so cool that they like I really like just like the style of it. It looks really cool. It's Clamp, right? I think it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Clamp.
Every Clamp show just looks so freaking weird now by today's standards. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. And then I got into like all the classics, right? Like Cowboy Bebop and Ghost in the Shell and like all that stuff.
Oh, I love
and,
that anime.
God, it's just like it just sort of spiraled to like a really bad addiction. And then Toho, obviously, yeah, Tohoism, that stuff, like it's all really, I mean, hell, if you play rhythm games and you don't know what Toho is, like I don't know.
Yeah, there's
like,
no way, like.
Yeah. So I mean, literally, my game is Toho. So in development, it was called Toho Osu. Or Toho Osu.
Ooh.
And it's literally because I was like, let me take like two of my favorite games and combine them into an ungodly abomination. And yeah, so like no, like all that sort of stuff. God, it's just so weird thinking about it now because like I feel like my tastes have matured a lot, but I totally like everyone that's like, oh, I never had a Naruto phase or whatever. Like, oh my God, shut up! You know you did. Someone like you
Literally.
Oh, yeah.
you had to have watched one of those like not so great shows. There's no way. Like I literally remember it was started airing on Toonami and I was like I was just so confused as to like what it was. And I was like I don't really like I didn't love it, but I liked it enough that I just kept watching it. It was like junk food. It was so good.
Exactly.
and-
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, no, like all that sort of stuff is just like again, you just get introduced to it with all the cringe shit
Yeah.
that like everyone is watching, and then that's when you find like stuff that I was talking about where it's like the golden nuggets. Like that's how I learned like eventually about Satoshi Kon, and he made like some of my favorite moves of all time. And like God, like oh God, all of his movies are amazing. If you haven't watched any of Satoshi Kon stuff, it's like so freaking good. And then like also like stuff like Redline, like just like these like really weird films that's like have y'all watched Redline?
I don't believe so.
So
No.
okay, so I would definitely recommend it. It's complete junk food. Like it's just absolutely mindless, but it's the animation in that movie is so amazing. It took like 7 years to make. Yeah, it's it just look up the trailer, you'll immediately see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that I'm sort of rambling now, but basically just like animation and film are just two huge passions of mine. So yeah, see, there you go. Someone knows the red line. It's just absolutely amazing. Yeah, and then it sort of spiraled because it's like also like I got into like our TV shows. Like Tatami Galaxy is like one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and then I found out that that director just like makes every single show that I've ever loved. So like Kaiba, Tatami Galaxy, Ping Pong the animation. He also made by the way, do not like look at Ping Pong the animation and be like, oh, this is dumb, because that's what I did. Yeah, no, it's really freaking good. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. Like, I've never been this invested in something like this like in a long ass time. So that, and then he also made Izoken recently. Well, again, like not him.
I like that one.
But,
that one's really cute.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm just rambling now. I could go on forever. I just really like animation. So I was like, oh god. So obviously it was sort of like that. I guess that's where I'm going with this, is basically like I started with my love of animation, and it sort of developed into like, well, Japan makes like just an absolute fuck ton of animation.
Yeah.
So it's like, of course I'm gonna end up liking that stuff as well. Yeah. God. Now I want to go watch all these movies again.
Yeah, I always love the like the everyone's personal journey to finding what they love. It's so circuitous. Like as you guys were talking, a lot of it was the like the yes, ha ha ha, I get it, doesn't get it, because I don't consider myself much of a weeb. My first like
You
intro
just got called out.
Naruto don't. My first anime was Naruto, because Toonami, and at the time me and my brother had no idea what anime was. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
However, my second anime ever was Princess Mononoke, which is that's a good way to get back on.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And
No, definitely.
yeah, but like it took me, so my brother like pretty much was like, I'm a weeb now. Like he when I was ready to really immerse himself in the otaku world, and yet somehow I was like, I don't even know what my mindset was, but I didn't want to be a weeb, or I was like a closet weeb. Yeah, and so like I wouldn't find a lot of this stuff on my own, because I guess I didn't want people to know that I was a weeb. I guess, to be fair, like the way the world was when we were growing up, like, no, being a nerd, being a weeb, being into like comic books and video games was weird, which I guess is kind of an excuse.
Yeah. No, because like here's the thing. This stuff has become so much more mainstream. Like because I was there when no one knew what anime was, when I was young, and I was like, oh my god, guys, like I love Naruto, and they're like, what's that? That's so weird. You know, things like that. It's just crazy to think of how mainstream everything's become now.
Yeah, I remember one of my friends like did cosplay maybe like 10 years ago, and this was back when in her entire city, like no one knew what cosplay was. Which is wild. And it was only recently that I a bit of a throwback to what Maya said of like getting into like VTubers backwards. I got into being a weeb backwards. I got into VTubers first. Through my friends, and then I was like, okay, well, shit, I'm already a weeb, might as well catch up on the other stuff I was missing.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what were your first animes? Like ever watched? I know it's not one of the actual questions, but I figured I'd ask.
Sure. I mean, Naruto, and then Princess Mononoke, and I don't forgive myself for forgetting name, but it's another Ghibli one. What's the one where she's separated from her parents and like forgets their names, and the parents get turned to pigs?
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away, yeah.
Spirited Away.
That is. How could I forget the name? I feel so bad about that.
Wait, are you talking about literally their most popular movie?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How
literally.
could I?
I like how you remembered Princess Mononoke, which is like far less popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's like, God, no one talks about Porco Rosso or like, what's one of their other ones? Oh, well, no, a lot of people still like Nausicaa, but yeah.
Hmm.
It's just funny you forgot literally the most popular one.
In my defense, it's been a long time since I've watched it, which is an issue I should fix, and soon.
Yeah, that movie is really good.
Agreed.
Well, your first animes.
I watched Soul Eater first.
Ooh.
Oh God, that's always
Oh
not
my
a bad
gosh.
one.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
definitely one of my more popular ones too, or not yeah, like an anime that it was more popular that I got into.
Then my friend, as a joke, told me to go watch Clannad, so
Ooh.
cried my eyes out.
That was my brother's. My brother was Naruto first, but then Clannad was the one that caught his eye, and then that was the moment he became a weeb and
Yeah.
realized that anime could be beautiful.
Oh God, I'm about to make myself look like such a dork. I have a list. I have an Excel spreadsheet of every single anime I've ever watched. Because so like my anime list didn't exist when I started watching anime. In my defense, and so I just kept updating it. Let me actually find it real quick because I can literally tell you the exact first one I ever watched. Oh God.
I'm the kind of person that like I love that kind of bookkeeping. I don't know why, but like Excel is great.
It's nice, yeah. It's nice to see some organization.
I'm the kind of person that like I log a play of literally every board game I've ever played, and I've had that for years. Something about that is I don't know. It's nice being able to look like in moments like these when you can just look back and have those answers at hand.
Well, so actually, that's another weird thing. I got into scanlation before. Like, I actually read a lot more manga before I actually started watching anime.
Same.
Weirdly enough. So like I was scanlating stuff. Oh God, that leads into a completely different thing. There was once someone that was talking about like we translated a lot of stuff, and one of the things never got an official translation. And someone was talking about it, and they're like, God, I love this like one thing, and just lo and behold, they like were reading the exact one that I helped make, which is so weird.
Ooh.
It was my coworker too, so that was really awkward. I was like, they don't know. It's like that meme where you're in the car and they're like, they don't know I translated that. Yeah. Oh God, but I would say I think actually, God, I think that Chobits might have been the first one that I actually watched all the way through. God, that's like so embarrassing. I think, and then I think, honestly, I think that I also watched like a bunch of Gundam shows because that's what was on those VHSs. And I didn't know it at the time, but like obviously I was watching Sailor Moon. I feel like at least everyone here has probably watched at least like one episode of that show.
Really?
But yeah, and like but there was a disconnect because I don't really consider that my first show because I was like, this is just like I didn't really think about it as like anime at that point. Whereas like Chobits is sort of the first one where I was like, what the hell is this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's my answer. Yeah. Oh God. That show, God, I just don't want to watch it again because I know that it's gonna be really bad if I watch it again.
Like so bad. Like why is what I want to know. Like Chobits is just so like, oh my God. You look at it and you're like
Yeah. I don't even know. Like I literally if I remember correctly, I got linked it like a torrent or a bit or something.
Mhm.
Which, oh god, I probably shouldn't have said that, but
Oh
yeah.
well.
I mean, yeah, I was like really young. This is like I think I literally probably got linked it on AOL.
Mm.
Oh god, again, that dates me so bad. Lord, God, Discord is so much better than that shit.
Mm.
Okay, anyway, sorry, I rambled for too much. I think Maya hasn't fully answered yet. Or was
No.
it Reina?
I think I went for Reina.
Which one?
Just the first anime.
Oh, first anime, Naruto. Or Pokemon, or the Pokemon
Oh
anime.
my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
okay.
It was the
I didn't
Pokemon
even-
anime or Naruto.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even include Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! I definitely watched that shit.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
again, it was not really anime. It was for
The-
kids, so
the-
like
Yeah.
That's true. The first Pokemon movie has a special place in my heart. The one with Mewtwo.
Same.
yeah.
And then
that
they
was-
made more, and they stopped having special places in my heart. But you know, it'd be like that.
Detective Pikachu is pretty good.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet. I was kind of worried it'd be a little
It's actually-
much.
Yeah, it was actually really good. I was kind of surprised. I literally
Hmm.
went into it thinking it was gonna be like complete garbo. It wasn't like an amazing film or anything, but it definitely was worth a watch.
Mhm. Mhm. Alrighty.
Uh,
Hmm? Oh, sorry, Doug.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we might want to move on. And I'm sorry.
Uh,
Yeah, you don't have to apologize at all.
I do really love the tangents. This is I very
Yeah.
much knew like these questions were less questions to be answered and more like prompts for discussion. So I really love seeing how it can sprawl around. But the sweet and spicy interview will be coming to a close with our last spicy question. If you had a conversation with yourself from 10 years ago, how do you think that would go, and would past you be proud?
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh lord. Yeah.
I was a completely different person 10 years ago.
That was
Mhm.
Oh no, me
2011.
too. Me too.
Oh god.
I think she would think I was really cool and
Ooh.
like really awesome, but at the same time, Fig inspires me to be more open about these things. It makes me scared to be open about these things, but I do struggle with mental illness.
Hmm.
And I have I don't want to say what it is just personally, but I have one of the more quote unquote scarier illnesses than like, oh, just like anxiety and depression. I have, you know, some of the more like scarier ones with a heavy stigma around it.
Hmm.
And so if I'm being really 100% honest, I don't know if she would be 100% happy with the progress we've made, because there is progress, but I think it's me from 10 years ago would be like, I'm gonna be cured of mental illness when I'm like 10 years older, you know what I mean? I was like,
Mhm.
nothing's gonna be wrong. It doesn't really work out that way. So I think she would think I was really cool, and what I'm doing right now is fucking awesome, and she'd be like, hell yeah, like we're making it, we're doing something big. You know, we're doing something that, you know, you can work on your dreams with and things like that, but then probably look at like the progress we've had with how she would honestly, she would be disappointed that I'm not cured by now. But you don't need to be cured. You don't need to be cured, and I think that's something that I have learned from then. From then, 10 years ago, I have learned that you don't need to erase the mental illness. You just need to learn how to make it not like bring you down as a person, and how to be better with it and work with it, basically. So is kind of like my thing. I think. Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah, it's a process.
Definitely. It's a very, very long process, but in the end it's very worth it. One thing though is like, I've seen others and I understand where they're coming from, but you have to want to get better. You can't you have to want to get better. You can't sit here and throw a pity party every day. You have to want to get better. if you really want this to happen, if you really want to be better, you have to want it. So yeah.
I think my own who I was 10 years ago, I've mentioned this before. I am not at all proud of who I was. The best way to describe who I was without being around the bush is that I was an incel, the kind of person of like, it was bad. It was bad. It was very much, the only way I can be happy.
What was your board of choice?
My what?
What was your board of choice?
Oh, dude. It was either I don't even want to fucking say this. It was either the Roblox forums or the Neopets forums.
Oh no.
Yeah, dude.
Not the Roblox forums.
There's fuck Christ. I feel like I'm gonna shrink up and disappear instead of saying this. But there was one point when I was 14 and I had made the quote unquote realization that we as a society were regressing back to the sex instinct, and when we had stopped prioritizing like intelligence and emotional maturity, and it was just God, I hate past me so much. I think past me would be proud to know where I am now, that I'm happier, that I've grown so much, that I'm found so many friends through VTubing. But also, I don't know if current me wants any judgment from him. Like I've ruined so many friendships by like, oh, this is a friendship with a girl, and therefore I should push it to be a relationship. Like, I was a truly disgusting person. Yeah. But I mean,
your character development is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always tell myself, if you are disgusted by who you are before, that means you're way better now. And that's kind of what I hold to.
Yeah, cause no, definitely. It's like bad people, like truly awful people, don't know they're awful. They don't think anything wrong of themselves. They think they're totally in the right.
Yeah. It's and I'm glad that I can look back and make fun of who I used to be and know that I'm nowhere at all that person anymore.
I mean, everyone does really cringe shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Not really.
Teenagers are dumb.
yeah. Honestly, like, we act like we like get better, but like we always are doing dumb shit. Like literally until the day we die, we're gonna be looking back at like what we did even the day before, and we're like, God.
Yeah. And that shows improvement. That means that you're becoming a better person, definitely.
Or you could just be spiraling into depravity.
Yeah, that is definitely a possibility.
For mine, it's pretty simple. I think that I've actually achieved quite a bit of what younger me would have wanted. So, like, again, God, I feel like so bad about bringing up the game so much, but it really is a pretty big part of my life.
It makes me so happy that you have something like that you achieved. Yeah. That's been such a huge part of your life.
Like, well, so God, I feel like I'm humble bragging whenever I say stuff like this, but like, when it sold 20,000 copies, like we're way past that now, but I remember that was the moment where I was like, oh shit, like there's 20,000 people out there that spent money on something I made and were like not disappointed with it. Like that's just so wild. But anyway, so like younger me, the thought of like that being a possibility is just, that was not a thing. Like I really don't think that they were thinking about it like that. So I think that I would look at me and be like, wow, that's pretty cool, and also look at me and be like, wow, I expected you to go into animation, not programming. What is this? So yeah, I mean, they would be like, it would be like a mixture of. I say they. I don't know, but yeah, like, I guess I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's like I'm talking about myself in third person, but like that. So like it's so weird because it's like I think of like younger me as like an entirely different person, but they were, for all intents and purposes, still me. But yeah. So anyway, I guess I would think very highly of myself, but also just be confused about some of my life choices. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you hit on to something really profound there. I hear that people don't fully like their minds don't fully mature until like mid-20s, and I've heard that like between like 20 and 25 you're like just 5 different people, and I think that's what kind of like cuts to the heart of this. Like the people that we were 10 years ago, while technically yes the same person, but like just we're different people. Like we've grown so much to the point where like you might be unrecognizable.
Oh yeah. That's why I feel like the conversation with me 10 years ago could go 2 completely different ways. But I feel like the more serious one, the more needed one, I feel would be rather serious, to be honest. And it sounds so weird to say and so like bad to say, but I feel like I would tell them to be a bit more selfish, because me 10 years ago was the type of person to try to help anyone they saw, despite if their intentions were good or wrong. And unfortunately, in the last 10 years, that's really sort of led to some horrible situations where I've just been taken advantage of. So I feel like I would need to properly tell them, like, you can't go around helping everyone, because there are some people who are just not, like, they're just not good people, essentially. And
Yeah.
if I could, like, stop myself from getting hurt, then I would definitely do it. Like, I know I can say like, oh well, those situations have helped me grow as a person, they've helped me mature and all, which is great, but I don't know, there's some things in my life that I would rather just didn't happen, to be honest. But honestly, go ahead.
It's like people say like, oh, it makes you stronger, but like even then it's like, no, okay, but I should have been safe.
Exactly.
Okay, it made me strong. I should have been safe. Is what it was.
Exactly.
There's no being stronger. I should have been safe.
Yeah, whenever I hear people say that, I'm like, you haven't experienced a lot of hardships in your life, have you?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like, yeah, no, exactly.
Like there's like some like there's like a positive note to that, right? Like it's like, oh yeah, like I'm more of me, but like at the same time it's like, come on, that's a little bit naive, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
On the completely other side of the spectrum, like, honestly, I would have told myself to follow my goals a lot quicker than I waited to do, because if VTubing has showed me anything, is that anything is really possible. And like, I wanted to do stuff like this for like ever since I was a kid, right? And if anything, I was even more open as a kid until all this negative stuff happened. So honestly, I just feel like if I just decided to follow my goals and just didn't keep on waiting a year, a month, or like, I don't know, I feel like maybe we'd be even further, and maybe I'd be even happier. I mean, this is honestly the happiest I've ever been in my life, so I don't know, I feel like younger me would be very, very proud of where we've gone to at this point. And yeah.
I'm glad that none of us said that younger us would be mad. Like, younger us would be like, God damn it, you're a fucking loser.
Actually, I feel like she would get mad that I'm the League streamer now. I think that's the only thing. She would get mad at that. She'd be like, fuck, why the fuck did you choose League? Like, you couldn't have done anything else. But other than that, no, I don't think she'd be mad.
I kind of wonder, so wait, 11 years ago, I don't know if I think I still wasn't really that interested in like dating or whatever. But I kind of wonder how that conversation would go down.
Hmm.
Be like, yes, you are gay.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Prize.
I know what you did. I know you were looking at that girl in class. You fucking idiot.
Mm-mm. Awesome.
God, I feel like someone's made a comic of that, and then like the younger you is like blushing, like, no, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I don't like girls. What are you talking about? Oh my goodness,
God,
stop.
girls are fucking ugly.
Yeah.
This sounds like something Merriweather would write.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then to close out Sweet and Spicy interview, we have our last sweet question. What is the dumbest injury you've ever gotten?
Dumbest what?
Injury.
I ran down a driveway and broke my arm.
What?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that's the dumbest injury I've ever gotten.
How did it happen? Or was it just you
I
flubbed it?
ran down a driveway and I tripped and I tumbled down and broke my arm.
Oh no.
God, I have so many.
I must know though. How old were you?
I was very tiny, like very, but not like super, like I was like
Toddler?
No, past toddler, like I can't remember.
I guess that's
but
just
no,
kid, right?
past a toddler. Yeah, like just a kid, like regular kid.
Oh, see, that's a lot more like
Yeah.
that's understandable.
But
Yeah,
if it was
yeah,
like I was
kinda-
32 and then
Kind of bordering like teenage, you know, like preteen, like that. That's how. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I can't even remember why I was running, and all I know is next thing I wake up and I'm like, damn, my arm kind of hurts.
You thought you saw Kane down the other end of the driveway.
Yes, no, exactly. I was like, oh my god, here I come. Wait for me. Broke my shit. My shit got rocked. Like.
Let it be a lesson: if you chase 2D men or women, you'll get your arm broken.
Yes, exactly. Your arm will snap in half automatically, immediately.
The forbidden lust. Yeah, mine is similar. This was in high school. So I don't know what it was, but I had decided that I wanted to be cool in high school, and obviously the most cool thing you can do in high school is to be super acrobatic. So I would jump over like chairs and stuff just for no reason, just to show off. And in the gym class, there was this one kind of like exercise machine that was kind of like it was like a door frame but smaller, and then like on the edge was like a seat, and you'd pull a thing down or whatever. But that door frame, I would like leap through it. Where most people would, you know, walk around the machine, I would just leap through the machine. And one day I fucked it up and stumbled over, and I had landed gracefully enough that like not a lot of people had seen. But I was just like, okay, you know, just fucking own it, pretend nothing happened. We go over to like the exercise bikes, and we're doing that for like 10-20 minutes, and I start getting really tired, and the gym teacher comes over and goes, Monty, what happened to your leg? And I look down, I'm like, oh, there's a flap of skin that has been like sliced off, and it's just kind of like the flap is still there.
Ow.
Like, yeah. And it was such a quick hit that like I wasn't even bleeding too much, but like it was like a zombie's leg of how gross it was, and I was just like, oh, I guess the bike pedal must have slashed me. Haha, can I go to the nurse? And I've had that scar for like 10-ish years, and I've it was in planning for this question that I checked. I was like, hey, the scar's finally gone.
Oh dear.
Kids are stupid.
So almost all of my like accents are like proactive. So it's not like I'm just like walking and I trip or whatever. Like so I was making a flamethrower, like as you do as a kid. And
No, true.
that's like not even a joke. I think I was literally 8 and I made a flamethrower. And my first test of it, I loaded it up with too much flour. Do you know? So do you know that if you aerosolize flour, it actually becomes extremely flammable? So long story short, making bombs with ATAN. No, I'm joking. Please don't. Please don't actually do any of this shit. It was incredibly dangerous. But so I made an air compressor system that was like hooked up to a bunch of PVC, and I loaded up with like just normal baking flour. And I loaded up too much, so the way that it came out, basically it like created like a massive fireball at the edge of it rather than shooting out first and then lighting on fire. And I burned off my eyebrows and a lot of my hair. So that was really fun. And like 2 weeks later, I also do you know like those poppers that you get like parades and stuff?
Oh, you like
like
throw them at the ground and they pop?
Yeah. Those exact ones. So I took like a ton of those and unwrapped them all into a butter, like an empty butter thing, because I was collecting them for another thing that I was working on.
Just nonchalant, like gathering gunpowder.
Yeah, like again, just as you do, right?
Yeah.
And one of my friends like came over and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And he accidentally kicked it and it exploded, and it was so loud it was like Saving Private Ryan. Like I literally couldn't hear for like a solid like 30 seconds. It was like that weird like high-pitched noise, and I was like, okay, why did I do this? And like there's just like so many stories like that. Like I drilled a hole through my hand.
What the?
And like I also I was making like dye synthesized solar cells, again, just like as you do. And when I was working on that project, like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. This was like when I was like fucking 12. So fume hood, never heard of it. Got iodine poisoning. So like yeah. It's like everything is just like complete negligence, I guess, is really what I'm going for here. So like just like that sort of stuff, it adds up. I'm like, I've literally shaved 5 years off my life at least. So and then like one of my most embarrassing stories, this is the last one I'll tell because there's way too many, is this one. Okay, this one was actually truly an accident. It wasn't like me just like putting myself in a shitty situation. Well, I say that, but like there was a part of it that anyway. So I was wearing Crocs, and that's always a bad way to start the story.
I love Crocs. Crocs are so awesome.
Yeah.
So, to be clear, this was years ago when they were actually kind of popular, but just like it was like on the cusp of when they started becoming a meme. So, I was wearing them, and I had to run to class, and it had rained, and I ate the curb. It was really bad. And it completely like my chin was like exploded on the cement. Just absolutely disgusting. Because basically I couldn't catch myself in time because I had my hands in my jacket because it had been raining. And yeah, so long story short, it was hilarious because first off, I threw away those Crocs immediately. It was like, I'm never wearing these things again because I just like completely lost balance. And there's this woman that ran over to me, and she was like, "Oh my god, are you okay? Like, holy shit! Like, what even?" And I was just like, there's blood dripping down my mouth, like onto my chest and neck and all that. And I was like, "Nah, yeah, I think I'm okay." And so she's like, "Okay, are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm okay." So I go in and look at the mirror, and no, I was not okay. Really not okay. And I actually went into my class and was like, "Hey, like I called out to one of my friends. I was like, "Hey, man, like, can you bring me to the hospital real quick?" And my teacher was like about to hurl because there was so much blood. And then the last part, because this is getting too gruesome, because this is my favorite part, is I actually got to the hospital and the guy was stitching me up. And I was like, "Oh wait, hold on a second." I reached in the back of my mouth and pulled out like half of my tooth, and I was like, "Oh." That's not
ow.
Yeah, and
One
the guy
time-
looked at me like I was insane.
Ow! No, literally. I think the worst I've done is like accidentally chip a tooth, like it was like a piece was loose, and I just kind of like scratched it out. I've never pulled out like a full tooth like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's just my life. Ironically enough, I have like no scars. I don't know how. Yeah, like it's really weird. It's just like it's all scars that you just can't see, probably.
The scars are
again,
purely
probably
mental.
Well, no, I more mean like again, just scars on my life expectancy. Yeah.
My story feels so small compared to that. Oh my god. But essentially, right, my school had this like mandatory 1 hour study session at the end of the day where they would put like all of the students of the 2 last years in like this one huge classroom with like 120 seats, right? And if there was like a bunch of teachers like walking around making sure you were studying during the period. And I would like notoriously fall asleep during this hour because it was like a 9-hour fucking school day and I was just so tired every day. So I would pull out a book and just pretend that I was reading the book while I was actually like sleeping. But my sleep position is like I just lean back essentially and my head sort of just balances on itself. But I had a dream where I was falling, and when people have this dream, they tend to like jolt up, right? And so my head jolted up so hard that it went forward and hit the desk so fucking hard that I got a concussion. And it made the loudest fucking noise that every student in the room turned to look at me. And
no.
I was just like, I was so fucking red and like, oh no, it was the most embarrassing moment of my entire life. And like, I couldn't explain myself, right? Because I couldn't say, oh, I was asleep, because then I would get detention. I've still to this day never gotten to detention, so I was like terrified of it. But I also like couldn't explain why the fuck I just slammed my head onto the fucking desk.
So everyone saw it was like, well, okay, I'm staying away from that kid.
Exactly.
Or they thought they probably thought that you were like. Well, wait, I guess it was Canada, so they probably weren't like, we should make friends with that one because we don't know what they're gonna do in the future.
No.
Oh god,
Yeah,
that's so dark. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Fair.
But yeah, that's my dumbest injury and most embarrassing moment, probably.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that, Lovelies, concludes the 10th sweet and spicy interview. Thank you to our guests. Thank you so much for coming to this. This has been amazing and
Great.
yeah.
It was so nice to meet you, Eitan and Maya. It was super nice to meet you guys.
Great to meet you guys as
Yeah,
well.
likewise. This is like actually a blast. To be honest, I was expecting this to only last like an hour and a half, but
Same.
like I was having so much fun that it didn't, like, yeah.
Honestly.
And honestly, like nothing I guess warms my heart more than like seeing the bond. Like someone in chat had even Monica had even pointed out like the incidental bonds of nerding out over like Persona 3 and stuff. Like I love seeing that, and then the fact that I could like put that together and make that happen, like, oh, that feels amazing. But so as we kind of wind down from the interview, are there any fun streams or any fun content that the fans can kind of look out for?
Legends.
Okay, I'm gonna have to drop by one of those to see what the hell your chat is.
Same.
You guys are gonna see it. You guys are gonna see a spectacle because sometimes they. Oh Lord. Okay. No, yeah. Let's just say you guys will be very entertained.
So I guess I'll just mention that this is like finally the week that I'm probably gonna go back to streaming regularly. 'Cause I was on hiatus because of the move and everything, like I said, for a pretty long time.
I feel like we all just returned from a hangover.
Yeah.
'Cause I also came back
Yeah.
from like the surgery not too long ago. But, yeah. Honestly, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and then for me, also hiatus. So the next stream is gonna be Tuesday, which is my birthday, and I'm gonna do an archives karaoke. And I'm very nervous because I've never sung in front of people before.
I'm gonna make sure to come to that.
Thank you. But yeah, and then reminder, all of our socials are in the description. Please check each and every one of these guests out. They are amazing people. And to end, thank you for the birthday wishes. And to close out, do you all have a farewell message? Anything to say to fans as we close out the stream?
Try not to fall too far from the nest.
That's
what I say at the end of every stream.
True, very
Oh
true.
God, I have never even thought about having one of those.
I've had quite a few guests that don't, and if not, then that's totally fine.
Yeah,
But-
I have no idea.
What is it?
As I end a stream, I always do a farewell message, and if you have one, would you like to?
Don't play League of Legends ever. Don't fucking touch that game.
Don't fucking do it. No,
Don't ever fucking play League.
I have 2,000 hours in Dota 2. Don't fucking play Dota 2. Don't play any MOBA.
Yeah, don't ever play a MOBA game ever.
Okay.
And then to close out the stream, from me to you, lovely, this has been Monty Seelana, your favorite fairy scholar. Thank you for the fun stream. Have yourself a good evening, and goodbye.
Bye, everyone.